Taka, but I don't want to. The first death that's actually like really upset me right now. Like, I guess Sayaka and Chihiro's death was really upsetting, but I didn't like Chihiro and I. There wasn't a lot about him that was revealed until after he died. But Taka was like the energy of the group. He was the one that kept everyone like in a high spirit. God, it's gonna suck. Another hammer. Now it's Justice Hammer 4, and it's even bigger than before. Is that suspicious individual responsible for killing Taka too? I'm gonna say so. Oh, I'm so upset. And now I have to look for coins. Now is not the time. I know it's not the time, but I have to look anyway. Yeah, my sentiments exactly, Sakura. Yeah, okay. Cool. Toko? Don't tell me Toko too? She obviously fainted. Relax, she just passed out when she saw the blood. The blood? Oh, that's right, when Toko, she has a fear of blood, huh? We've tried everything to get her to wake up, but no luck. Just leave her be for now. It's like he said, I should just leave her alone for now.
However...
But why is Justice Hammer 4? Why is it Justice Hammer 4? Huh? What do you mean? Celeste was attacked with Justice Hammer 1, then Hifumi was hit with Justice Hammer 3, 2. But this time, Justice Hammer 4. What happened to number 3?
What?
What's the matter? Well, you mentioned Justice Hammer 3. You just reminded me. Out with it. Do you know something? Actually, Taka's not the only one that's been killed. Hifumi's dead too.
What? Hey!
Hifumi's been killed? Yeah.
I see.
Which is why you came to get us. Then we better go check it out.
Damn.
Of course, come on. I didn't look at Taka. Oh, for fuck's sake. I didn't even look at Taka! So Sakura, Byakuya, and I rushed out of the physics lab. But as soon as we were out of the physics lab... Celeste, aren't you supposed to be waiting in the nurse's office? Something has come up. Yeah, I heard. Hifumi's dead, right?
Indeed.
Well, that is not all. It is gone. Huh? What's gone? It has disappeared. Disappeared? Hifumi's body has disappeared. What?
What did you say?
What are you talking about? It's disappeared? Don't be ridiculous.
Come on.
Are you serious?
What?
What the heck is happening? Hey! Everyone back to the nurse's office. Taka? No! What if Taka disappears and I don't get to look at him? I practically leapt down the stairs, nearly losing my balance. I reached the nurse's office completely out of breath. And he's gone. I couldn't believe my eyes. Hifumi's body was there just a few minutes earlier. It just disappeared? Me and Celeste went to the bathroom, but we were only gone like a minute. And then when we got back...
Indeed.
This must be the work of the culprit. They must have come and carried the body away. They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. We're all going to die here. We're going to die just like all those guys died.
What did you say?
I don't believe this. I don't believe a body would just disappear.
Why?
First, there were 2 murders, and now one of the bodies has been taken. This is unnatural.
Huh?
Hold on, what do you mean 2 murders?
Hina.
Taka's been killed. We found him in the equipment room.
No way!
It can't be. I know, Aoi. We have to move on. But I am going back to see his body the first chance I get. It can't be. It can't be.
No!
Hina.
Calm down. We're all gonna die. All of us. They're gonna kill all of us. Then who might be the next target? Toko? Huh?
What?
I completely forgot. She's still unconscious in the equipment room.
Well...
You left her at the scene of the crime. We didn't have a choice. She passed out and refused to wake up. Sakura could have carried her.
Huh?
So she is still unconscious?
Damn.
Wait, so you knew she was still up there and said nothing? Why? That annoying little insect that clings to me wherever I go. We'd be better off without her.
Bastard!
Calm down. You forgot about her, didn't you? You have no right to blame me. Everyone stop fighting right now. We need to hurry back. I can't take this anymore. I don't want anyone else to die.
Damn.
Byakuya, if something happens to Toko, I'll never forgive you. Don't worry, Monokuma said only 2 people can die. So, like, he's got to have to put something to stop the third one from dying. He's like... We shot out of the nurse's office and bolted up the stairs, heading right back to the 3rd floor. We ran back to the equipment room at full speed, and when we got there... No! He's missing! Toko! I didn't get to look at him. Thank God you're okay, but right away I noticed that there was something very different here. Oh, he was wheeled away. He was gone. Taka's body, which should have been right here, had disappeared.
This is...
This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something? The blood is still there. No, it's not a hallucination. I know I saw it before, and what I'm seeing now isn't what I saw before. I didn't look at his body. What? Are you saying Taka disappeared
Stop
too?
talking.
Stop saying disappeared. It didn't just vanish into thin air. Obviously, whoever did this has hidden the body. But why would they do that? I couldn't possibly begin to imagine. Anyway, our costume suspect is clearly continuing his crime spree. We gotta hurry up and catch him before he kills all of us.
Not possible.
Oh, I don't think you have to worry about that. See, Byakuya remembers. I was waiting for him to mention it because he's the only one that actually cares about the rules of the game. Huh? Think about it. Who could possibly be responsible for killing and hiding these dead bodies?
Well,
When Hifumi's death cry went up, everyone here was together on the third floor.
it is so.
After that, we split up into two groups. And now, this time, you'll all claim here as a group from the nurse's office. In other words, the only ones who could have done this are Hiro and Kyoko, who are still missing. But hold on a second. Kyoko has an alibi for when Celeste and Hifumi were attacked. There's no question that she was in the dining hall with us. You seem very adamant about defending her. Perhaps you are in love. Or I just don't want you to, point fingers at someone who didn't do it. That's not it at all.
That's fine.
Well, anyway, yes, I do accept Kyoko's alibi.
Let's see.
Which means the suspicious individual we are looking for can be none other than Hiro. Hiro? Really? He's such a laid-back guy. I mean, I guess... Which further means there will be no more murders. The regulations are very clear about that. Oh, that's right. There is a rule that says you can only kill a maximum of 2 people.
That's right.
As long as that rule is in place, there will not be a third murder. If they were to break that rule...
I'd mince you without a second thought. Mince you, grind you, turn you into paste. By the way, did you know that fish paste can also refer to shellfish like shrimp or crabs?
Okay, thanks for the fun fact. Indeed.
Let's see.
So, since 2 people have been killed, there is no possibility of any more.
Perhaps.
You knew that from the beginning, didn't you, Byakuya? Which means you knew Toko was never in danger.
I still meant it when I said we would be better off without her, though.
In other words...
Anyway, with that in mind, we can now relax and search for the 2 missing bodies. The 2 missing bodies. 2 people have been killed and their bodies have been hidden, and I didn't even look at Taka. I feel like such a douche. I wanted to look at him last because I thought that would be the investigation, but... Oh, I hate myself. The only one without an alibi, the only one who could have done it, is Hiro. But is he really the killer? And what about Kyoko? If she's not involved in this case, where did she go?
What?
Hey, Makoto, what's the matter? Huh? Oh, no, it's nothing. Whatever. We need to find those bodies, or our little narrative here can't move forward.
So then...
Very well, then let us split up and begin searching.
But...
There is no need to be afraid. No more murders will take place during this case.
Cause, I mean...
I know that. I mean, I think I do, but...
Hina.
If you're still nervous, I'll come with you.
Huh?
Okay, thank you.
No need to thank me.
Then, let's get moving. Yell out if you find anything. Byakuya left the equipment room followed by the others. I have to try and find the 2 missing bodies. No! No! I'm going back in there, because screw you. If I can't look at his body, I'm gonna look at his frickin' blood splatter. Also, I have to look for more frickin' coins, which is always fun. This machine obviously has some kind of purpose, but I don't know anything about physics to begin with, so I wouldn't have a clue where to start with this. Chihiro might have, but she's dead, or he's dead. Assuming I make it out of here alive, I'll never look at surveillance cameras the same way again. This huge thing is an air purifier. This huge thing is just an air purifier. Frankly, that sounds like bullcrap to me. What kind of monitor is this? Who would even make this kind of thing? It has Monokumiko written across it. I guess they've covered all the details. They must use these for physics experiments and stuff. There's materials, police, steel plates, magnets, and all kinds of stuff I don't even recognize. But no points. Alright. Going to go to Taka's spot of death. Oh. I didn't even look at him. Taka's entire body has disappeared, leaving behind nothing but a blood stain. Oh, that makes me so upset. This is a tarp. I don't see anything out of the ordinary here, nothing worth thinking about too much. They got a coin, and that's what matters, because I'm kind of low on coins right now, and I need to get some more. I'm just not going to think about the surveillance camera. When Toko is, Toko, she has a fear of blood. I don't think we have to worry about anyone else dying, so I'll just leave here alone for now. What if she saw something? Like, oh no, because she was with, Sakura and Celeste, so she would have shown up at the same time, I guess. Alright. Look for Taka and Hifumi. wherever they may be. Not up there. Jeez, I do not like this floor's freaking layout. The hammer's still in the rec room. Celeste, was she really attacked with this Justice Hammer 1? But what the heck is with this thing? Assuming I make it out of here alive, I'll never look at surveillance cameras the same way again. There's no way this pool table is related to the case. There's 3 things. Oh, is that just it? There's no way Othello is related to the case. Yeah, the noise the table is related to the case. Well, it's letting me look at them, so I'm going to, so just deal with it. There's no way this couch is related to the case. There's no way the dartboard is related to the case. Can I get something for my search, please? This looks like some kind of bottle, but what the heck is it? It's probably a decoration or something, no reason to really worry about it. They got little Monokumas with chess pieces in them. Which matches the whole checkerboard thing. It's a shelf full of magazines. None of these magazines have anything to do with the case. There can't possibly be any clues in them. Assuming I make it out of here alive, I'll never look at... Oh, I thought I already... Never mind, I think I actually looked at that camera already. Thinking about this stupid monitor isn't going to do me any good. I need to just forget about it. Alright. Might as well leave then. Whoa, hello. Makoto.
Come on.
Why are you just standing there? We need to get to the repository. Huh? You mean...
Indeed.
I found them. Hifumi and Taka's bodies had both been hidden in the repository.
Goodbye.
I've already told Hina and Sakta. We'll go on ahead. Their bodies are in the repository? Is that the warehouse? I don't... What? Oh, Toka's still in there. Repository. Oh, repository. In the library. In the library, right? I'm looking just to be sure. Archive. No. Repository. Welcome to my repository. Is that not? They mentioned a repository, but now I don't remember. Oh, repository. Okay, so that's on the 2nd floor. Near the art room. Ah, okay. Wait, I went the wrong way. There was stairs to back there. I don't like the layout of this floor whatsoever. I need to hurry up to the repository. But am I not on the 3rd floor right now? Okay, no, right. The art room is up here. Hate this floor, gonna find the art room door. Hi. Are the bodies in here somewhere? No, they're in the repository, that way, but I'm gonna look in here to save time for later. I have to wonder why they could be hid. I wonder where they could have been hidden here. What? I have to wonder where they could have been hidden. In the repository, they said. This is a statue of Neo. No, there's no point in worrying about that right now. I have to look for the bodies. Stop. There's no way I'd fit in this locker. I didn't even see the locker. I thought it was painting. Shoot. Oh, okay. There are paintings lining the walls. No, there's no point in worrying about that right now. I have to look for the bodies. It's a Venus statue. No, there's no point in worrying about that now. I have to look for the bodies. This is one of the monitors Monokuma appears on. There's no point in worrying about that right now. I have to look for the bodies. Oh, motherfucker. I have to look at all these again because I have to look at the bodies first. Is this statue Monokuma? No, there's no point in worrying about that, right? Well, you know what? Fine. I'm just gonna go in and look at some of this stuff again. And up ahead is a repository. The doorknob turned. I guess it's unlocked. And I have no choice but to go inside. So I opened the door, and when I entered, I saw... What? I have to see this again? Oh. Fudge. The 2 bodies that had disappeared were right here. The smell of blood made me gag. What I saw before my eyes was unquestionable, unavoidable, unwavering reality. And then I heard the announcement for the 2nd time.
A body has been discovered! After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
If you hear the bang, it's my dog trying to get in the door. He needs some time with my mom. But he just loves my name so much. And so here we are. Without further ado, let me give you all the next month. I should have waited for him to say that first. I was gonna hand them out when you found the bodies the first time, but I thought something might happen. It was really hard to resist, but turns out I was right.
Stop talking.
Just hand it over already.
Punishment is waiting for you.
Now make sure to investigate with all your mental and might and prepare for the class trial.
See ya later.
Well then, now that we found the bodies, that's all that's left is to uncover the culprit.
What the heck?
Hold on. How can you be so calm? I mean, they're dead, you know?
That's terrible.
Dead, gone forever. They're never coming back. Awful. This is all just too awful. Hina suddenly burst into tears. She clutched at Hifumi's lifeless body. Who would do this?
Why? Why?
Large wet tears fell from her eyes. The tears landed on Hifumi's cheeks. If this were some kind of world of make-believe, that might have been when Hifumi opened his eyes. But this wasn't a movie. What? He did open his eyes. He's still... Oh shit, he's still alive. Is Taka? This wasn't...
He's alive again? Where am I? Cold. So cold. Is winter coming?
Winter is coming. Just look at the flowers.
Hifumi! Wake up!
Dude's got some serious brain damage here.
Huh?
So that means he wasn't dead when we saw him in the nurse's office either, and we just left him lying there with a brain injury.
That's right.
We could have helped him in the nurse's office, like if we actually tried to, like, heal him.
I remember now. Hope's Peak.
Yeah.
Come on, you gotta wake up!
Maybe try to heal him. He's probably bleeding out.
I remember everything.
And brain damage, because, like, that was a big-ass hammer.
Before I met you all.
Oh?
I met you all.
Before you'd met us all? Are you saying you'd met us before you'd met us all, or you'd repeating it because, you know, you're dying? His memories are all blending together. He has nothing useful to offer us.
The light. It's reaching out to me. Like the tail of a comet.
Well, he's very poetic in his final moments. We could be helping him, though.
Hey, Hifumi! Who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you?
Who killed me? That's right. I remember their name.
His name, her name, whose name?
Yasu.
No! No! His eyes closed, and they never opened again. Death for the second time. Absolute, undeniable death. It wasn't death for the second time, we just left him knocked out and dying before. Like, who knows? Maybe Sakura's, like, taken a blow to the head, and she knows how to heal them. Like, we just left him on the floor! No matter how many more of Hina's tears splashed on his face, there was not a second miracle. Reality set in again. This isn't some stereotypical Phoenix world. Tears can't restore a person's vitality.
Honestly.
You have no tears, do you? No blood in your veins. No calcium in your bones. At least you have your meat.
Stop talking.
You're just angry. Going out of his way to return just to leave us with those unnecessary dying words. Now this game has become exceedingly boring. He said Yasuhiro, right?
Then perhaps...
Yasuhiro Hagakure. That's the only person he could have been referring to.
So, in other words,
And with that, the case is solved. Insulting people and even killing Taka and Hifumi, and then going so far as to hide their bodies? A criminal that hides his face behind a mask and uses a bunch of giant wooden hammers. Is that what Hiro is?
What is this?
If it's true, I can't forgive him. No way I can ever forgive him. To kill two of our friends?
fine.
Anyway, it's about time we track down the culprit in our little life or death game here. Although, this time is not all that life or death. The trial will conclude without much trouble.
Indeed.
Yes, it does look that way. It's going to begin again. We have to go through this one more time. I have to accept it. I have no choice but to go through with this, to make sure everyone survives. I just have to do it. Oh, now we're investigating. First, I'd better check the Murakuma file. The victims were Hifumi Yamada and Kiyotaka Ishimaru. The cause of death for each was a blow to the head. It is thought that they were both killed with a similar weapon. That
That's it?
Very strange.
Yeah, it's pretty strange. We got way less information this time than before.
That is not a problem. After all, the events of this case unfolded before our very eyes. We should know more about what happened in the Monokuma file anyway.
Maybe. But it doesn't even say which rooms they died in or which, like, what time it was.
Well,
There's something else that's bothering me. Someone else has been missing for quite a while.
Are you talking about Kyoko?
perhaps.
Without a doubt, she has an alibi for when Celeste and Ifumi were attacked. But what if the killer wasn't acting alone? What if they had an accomplice?
An accomplice?
An accomplice?
What are you doing here?
Monokuma appears!
Don't be rude. I'm here to answer your question.
What question?
You're talking about accomplices, right? I'm pretty sure I explained it before, didn't I, during the first class trial?
Yeah, if the accomplice does anything,
Speaking
they
of
won't.
which, I'd
get
like to
away.
ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So what if they both kill?
So, in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
But that's only if someone helps someone who killed someone else. But what if both the accomplice and the main person were the killers, then who would get to be blackened?
In other words,
So basically, you can be an accomplice if you want, but there's no gratification in it.
so then.
So are you saying nobody worked together this time either?
Hey!
Sorry, can't answer that. It would obstruct the free exchange of information between you guys. I just want to make sure you don't forget, no matter how much you might assist in a murder, only one blackened can graduate. An accomplice gets nothing.
So in
But how do you
other words,
qualify a person? Oh, I guess the one that plans the murders. If they both kill, then we only need to figure out who that one blackened is and who that did the killing, right? Just like normal.
Well,
Okay, let me take this opportunity to clarify the whole shebang. In this class trial, what you need to determine is the one true blackened who devised the murder plot and put it into action.
The true blackened, so just one person.
well now.
That's enough for explainifying. Now it's down to the final battle between all of you and the blackened. Good luck to all the contestants.
The final battle. So is this the last one then? So there can only be one blackened. An accomplice wouldn't benefit. Then I can't see any way Kyoko would be connected to this case after all. You may be right.
If that's true, then Kyoko, where are you?
However,
As long as she's not connected to the case, it doesn't matter. Let's get back to the investigation.
Indeed.
I have absolutely no doubt that Hito is responsible. But for the time being, I suppose it can't hurt to pursue further information.
So,
You know, don't you think we should consider a certain someone a suspect just in case? I'm talking about the murderous fiend, Genocide Jack.
What?
What? I'm offended!
Hi, Genocide Jill. You, when did you...
I've been looking all over for you, Master. When I woke up, you were nowhere to be found. Anyway, you there, milk sack swimmer girl.
Huh?
Milk sack?
You've gotta be kidding!
Why do I gotta be a suspect?
What the heck?
Well, I mean, you are a serial killer.
What?
So what? I'm like a special guest suspect every time? I have an alibi, you know.
She's right about that. When we heard Ifumi scream, she was with me. And when the bodies disappeared, she was still lying unconscious in the equipment room. Plus, Taka's body aside, I can't imagine any way she would have been able to move Ifumi's body.
Yep.
Besides, I calculate every move I make. I'm not gonna kill someone just when everyone knows what I look like. You don't call me the murderous fiend for nothing.
What are you saying?
That's not the kind of thing you should be bragging about.
Let's see.
On another topic, should we post a guard by the bodies like before? We can't have them disappearing again.
so then.
Hina and I can handle that. You don't mind, do you, Hina?
Sure, I'd be totally useless on this investigation anyway.
It's all clear now.
She's getting pretty down on herself. Then that's that. Let's begin. This whole thing is so strange. All but one of us has an alibi, so figuring out who did it should be obvious, right? But maybe it's just me, but I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as it seems. Monokuma file number 3 has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. There are hammers of all different sizes hanging on the wall, although some are more like mallets. Mallets? Could the justice hammers have been designed using these as a model? Or you could have just painted them, because it looks like quite a few are missing. Looks like there should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, possibly 6. So there would be 1, 2, 3, 4. No, okay, so not 6. So there's 4 hammers missing, which there was just a hammer 1 to 4. That makes sense. Either way, all the hammers here have obviously seen a lot of use. They're all covered in debris and chalky stone powder. Wait, for some reason one of the hammers isn't dirty at all and it's wet. Did someone wash it recently? Or they painted over it? Spotless hammer has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. But then why are 4 missing? Because because there should be 5 each row, right? And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4 missing. That's what I'm seeing. Oh, look at Taka real quick. Taka, he'll never move again. According to the Monokuma file, Taka died from a blow to the head. We found Justice Hammer number 4 near his body in the equipment room. Is that what was used to kill him? And then there's a tarp laid out under his body. Did the killer use this to move Taka's body? That way there wouldn't be any blood left behind while the body was moved? Blue tarp has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Hifumi's big cold body is lying on the floor. His really big body. I mean, how on earth was the killer able to move someone so big? Hito's not exactly the toughest guy, but other than Sakura, I don't see anyone who could have. From the nurse's office where he was discovered here to the repository. All the way from the 1st floor to the 3rd, all without anyone noticing. How the hell? It's no good, I just don't get it. I can think about it later. For now, I have to finish investigating Hifumi himself. If I remember correctly, his fatal injury was also a blow to the head. Probably from Justice Hammer number 3, which is lying on the floor in the nurse's office. Huh? Wait. Something's off about his body. Why am I getting this feeling? Something's different. Like what? Something about Hifumi's body in the nurse's office versus his body right now. His glasses! Oh, they were covered in blood. When his body was in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But now they're completely clean. Does that mean someone wiped his glasses off? But who would do that, and why? Hifumi's glasses have been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Oh, hi, Byakuya. Byakuya, do you think Hiro really did it? I don't see how anyone could think otherwise. When the attacks and murders and disappearances all happened, every one of us had an alibi. And the last thing Hifumi said when he died, yeah, he said Hiro's name.
So, in other words...
Then there is no room to suspect anyone else. Okay, but if he did do it, why would he hide his identity with that weird costume? Maybe he thought that no matter what happened, he'd be safe as long as his face was covered. Because he's the fool of the century, you see. I mean, he is kind of dumb, but do you really think that's enough to explain it? I feel like there's another clue hiding in here somewhere.
What?
And what is it? And is that it? Is that all? Is that's all that bothers you about the case? Well, no, there's a few other things. Like, why did the killer try to hide the bodies? They probably figured that if we couldn't find the bodies, we couldn't complete our investigations. Oh, she closed you out of her room? The whole reason I closed my door was so that you could be in hers. I'm sorry, buddy. No wonder you wouldn't stop. But if that's the case, we found the bodies pretty easily, didn't we? Again, it comes back to the fact that the culprit is a moron. Is that really all there is to it? The other thing that bothers me is... Or, why'd they bother killing 2 people?
What?
Because all the rules say is if you can kill someone and get away with it, you graduate, right? So if you're the killer, your number 1 priority is not getting caught. But killing 2 people means no more clues. More clues, more chances you'll get found out.
I see.
Hold on. Perhaps. I see. So that's what that means. Is everything okay? Share with the class, Mr. Togami.
That's enough.
Don't talk to me as if we're friends. Fucking I talk to you like I was a teacher, but whatever. Huh? What's with the attitude? But you have my appreciation.
Goodbye.
Thanks to you, I might have some fun with this after all. As mysterious words hung in the air as he left the repository. He talked as if he'd figure something out, but like a douchebag, he didn't tell me what it was. But if he did, would it have killed him to tell me what it was? Really, like, he had his fun with the whole frickin' Chihiro case. It's a dolly, it doesn't have a handle. I saw this in the art room before, I guess it's used to move statues around. It's kinda awkward, but if you bend down, it's not too hard to use. Huh? But wait, I was about to say, I'm pretty sure there were 2. Oh, wasn't this in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? Oh, never mind. And look at the wheel. There's blood stain on it. I saw wheel stains for Taka's body. I didn't see that, though. There's blood on the wheel of the dolly that was moved from the equipment room to the repository. But at the same time, I only talked to the people when I left the equipment room because I was going to look at Taka, and then I probably would have looked at the dolly. I don't think I noticed it. Whatever. I'm just going to move on. What's the explanation for that? Repository dolly has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Quite a few clues in here. How you doing, Hina?
So,
Hey, Makoto, I've been thinking about something. It's about the repository. Huh? What is it? After Hifumi and Taka's body disappeared, we split up to look around, right? I was really scared, so me and Sakura stuck together.
But...
And we came right to the repository too, you know, to look around. When we got here, the repository was locked. We couldn't get inside. It was locked. And we came here as soon as the search started, so there's no way someone could beat us here. So if that's true, then who locked it, and why is it unlocked now? I wonder the same thing. The door was locked when the search for the bodies began, but now it's wide open. There might be some secret lurking in there. I'll probably have to leave this area to figure it out. Okay. A surveillance camera. I don't have time to be staring at it. I like how he's just getting so sick of me looking at them, like, just stop. And I'm pretty sure I locked the monitor, but I'm gonna look again just to be safe. This is one of the monitors Monokuma appears on. Don't have time to be staring at it. Cool. No coins. There's only one way in and out of this room. Through the door that Hina said was locked before. There's definitely a lock on the door, but it can only be unlocked from the inside the repository. I don't see any way to lock it from the art room. The door can only be locked from inside the repository, which makes me wonder. Hina and Sakura confirmed that the door was locked after we started looking for the missing bodies, and the door is designed so that it can only be locked from inside the repository. In other words, when Hina checked it, someone had already gone in the repository and locked the door. When they were done, they unlocked it and left, which is why it's unlocked now. But Hina claims that there's no way someone could have beaten them to the repository, so that certain someone... What? Repository door has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Guess we'll see later. There's gotta be a clue around here somewhere. Maybe I should check somewhere else. There's some place I already know about. First the nurse's office where Hifumi was found, and then the equipment room where Taka was found. Alright, leave the repository? Yes. Alright, I'm gonna look at this stuff again because, goddamn, I think it didn't count until the investigation started. It's a locker. There's nothing too remarkable about it. Alright. The Venus statue. It's a Venus statue. Seems like something you'd find in an art room. I don't think there's anything important here. There are paintings lining the walls. I don't see anything out of the ordinary about them. What kind of monitor is this? And who would even make that kind of thing? It has Monokuma rope right across it. Guess it's covered all the basics or whatever I've read. Assuming you'll make it out here alive, I'll never look at surveillance cameras the same way again. Is this a statue of Monokuma? Well, it has nothing to do with the case. Give me coins. This is a statue of Neo. I don't think it's related to this case this time. Or any time? Leave the area? Why the heck not? Thought there'd be more, but I guess not. Alright, I have to remember which way is the... Actually, this map would be less helpful. That's the stairs to go down, so I want to go this way first. Tataka's location. Fire body location for the first time. I don't know. There's no point in worrying about a surveillance camera now. Well, I'm gonna. This machine obviously has some kind of purpose, but I don't know anything about physics. Going with the same. A huge machine like this could it really be just an air purifier? That just seems silly. They must use these for physics experiments and stuff, so it's not really related to the case, though. This is one of the monitors Monokuma appears on right now. It's just for showing the school press. There's not much point in worrying about it now. I should just try to forget about it. Okie dokie, Smokey. Back to the body discovery location. For Taka. Alright, now that I'm... Oh, hi, Jill. How you doing? This isn't important to the case. I just need to forget about it for now.
I was sleeping right here when the killer carried the body away. I'm super pissed. I missed such an ultimately rare event.
Huh? This tarp. I feel like I've seen it somewhere before, and just recently, too. That one had 3. I saw in the flashback it had 3 when I was remembering the dolly, and I thought that was 3, but maybe I was remembering these laying here and thinking it was when I saw the dolly. My memory's kind of shit, so it's really great for this kind of game. There's some kind of tire mark going through the pool of blood in the middle of the room. That reminds me about the dolly in the repository. There's blood on this tire. Could that blood have come from here? Which could mean that Taka's body was moved from the equipment room to the repository using the dolly. Both rooms are on the 3rd floor, so that should definitely have been possible. Equipment room blood stain has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook, but that doesn't explain... Even if the dolly was used to move Taka's body, what about Hifumi? Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office on the 1st floor. Even with a dolly, there's no way to get it up to the 3rd floor. It's still a total mystery.
It is indeed.
Justice Hammer 4, the weapon that was used to kill Taka. Oh, right, these ones are still lying around, so the one that was covered in paint might be Justice Hammer 3. Or the one that was wet. The body was moved, but the murder weapon was just left here. This isn't important to the case, and you just forget about it. Listen, Makoto, let me do my thing. Alright, I guess I can leave the equipment room then. Moving on. Now that we've tried that section and we've done the art room, there's nothing else in this way, is there? Just a bunch of wasted... Oh, no, I guess not wasted space, because that's the science room there. You need a lot of room for it. I guess that's why the layout is so weird. I can excuse that. It makes sense. I just hate it. The rec room, where Celeste was attacked. Celeste, was she really attacked with this Justice Hammer 1? But what the heck is with this thing? What, am I not gonna... Was there no investigative purposes? This is one of the monitors Monokuma appears on, not much point worrying about it. Just gonna go through these quick. Even now, it's probably on the other side of the surveillance camera, just thinking about it puts me on edge, but there's nothing I can really do. Yeah. A pool table. It's not really related to the case, though. Cool. There's a table here. It's kind of similar to the desks in the classroom, but also kind of not. It's not really related to the case, though. There's a copy of Othello here. It's not really related to the case, though. The couch. There's nothing here I really need to worry about. It's a locker. It doesn't seem especially important right now, so I don't need to open it. What is this? Maybe just for decoration or something? It's not really related to the case, though. It's a shelf full of magazines. There's all different kinds of magazines here. And a dartboard. It's not really related to the case, though. Cool. Nothing I needed in here, like, at all. Wait, was that the same room I was just in? Yeah, they just had me facing it for some stupid reason. Make sure the classrooms are still good. This is where the bathroom cleaning supplies are stored. Maybe there's some kind of clue here. Guess not. Well, you never know. Am I just wasting my time? I feel like I am. I want coins, though. Nothing. Oh, over here. Still nothing, though. Well, except for a locker. Dang, this locker sure is big. Cool. Is that relevant? Guess not. Go. Go. Why didn't someone just come grab it? $10 million is a positively unrealistic amount of money. Is this why they had to die? Oh, that's what I was gonna say before. I don't feel like Hito would be the kind of person to kill, but at the same time with his pricing for his ratings, I don't doubt that he's a bit of a money grabber, so it's possible, I guess. Alright. Where his baby was found. There we go. Hey, Celeste. What are you investigating, Celeste? I'm not investigating anything, precisely speaking. I'm simply going around seeing if Hito might be hiding somewhere. What about you? Oh, you know, I'm just checking this and that. The main thing on my mind is how someone could have moved Hifumi's body.
Let's see.
How Hifumi was moved, eh? When it disappeared, you were supposed to be in the nurse's office, right?
Yes,
Correct.
indeed.
Hina was not feeling well, so I stayed behind to look after her. But she seemed to be getting worse, so I took her to the bathroom. And when he got back, the body was gone. He could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. Yeah, Hina said the same thing. So then the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time?
Indeed.
It would seem so. To carry off someone as big as Hifumi in only a couple of minutes is... I can't think of it as anything less than impossible. Celeste's account has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook. Camera. Hate you. Wait, what? The surveillance camera really doesn't matter right now. Oh, well, that's why I looked at it twice, right? Garbage can. It's just a normal trash can. Huh? Wait, there's something inside. It's too small to be a handkerchief. It's a glasses cleaning cloth. And it belongs to Hifumi. Did Hifumi clean his own glasses? It's got some kind of cartoon character on it. Or did the killer take his thing and then clean his glasses for him? But what's the point of cleaning his glasses? It's also covered in blood.
Oh,
Dad, did you find something? Yeah, there was a cleaning cloth in the trash can. A cleaning cloth? And it's all bloody. Whoever this belongs to must use it to wipe up the blood, but who would need it to do something like that? I haven't the slightest idea. Yeah, me either, but I think it might be important. Glasses cleaning cloth has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook. Obviously his glasses were cleaned of blood. With that, it was in here. And Hifumi was still alive. So, did he, like, try to wander off and then go to the art room because he likes the art room and then he got killed there? And Taka's body was disposed, like, just moved there because he was there? I don't know. Justice Hammer 3, the one that was used to kill Hifumi. Someone moved the body but left the weapon behind. Is that not relevant to the investigation at all? Really doesn't matter. Yep. A refrigerator. I wonder if there's anything to drink inside. After everything I've been through, I'm totally parched. I might need a quick peek. There's a bunch of blood packets in here for blood transfusion, I guess. It doesn't help me, though. I'm not a vampire. Oops. Yes, we said the same thing. Yes. Alright, I'm done in here. Alright, where do I go next? Oh, hello. So this is where you were. I've been looking for you. You have? I wanted to thank you for what you did. Not that you meant to, but you ended up making this little game of ours in it very interesting indeed. So it wasn't Hito, because he wouldn't be as interested if it was so cut and, or what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, straight and easy. You should go to Hito's room. Oh, and let me give you this. Meet in the dining hall. This is the note Hito wrote to get us all to meet up, right? You remember well. Huh, the penmanship was pretty remarkable, so it left an impression.
It's all clear now.
Anyway, this makes it clear, right? This is a trap. What is? Things grow ever more exciting. What are you talking about? I've already repaid my debt. I don't owe you any more explanation.
Goodbye.
Okay, goodbye. Yasuhiro's message has been added to the Truth Bullet of your handbook. So he said to go to Hiro's room, but what's waiting for me there? Guess we're gonna find out, ain't we? But first we're gonna check this area, and not gonna get any private presents because I only have like 11 coins, but we'll see what's in there area-wise. Okay, we're back. I didn't have soup because we didn't have like the kind I like, and the only kind we have right now is the kind that I like for flavoring. So I'm gonna just deal with the drink for now because I'm not hungry. The door is unlocked. I guess I can go inside. Yakia said to go look, and it might not be a great idea, but I'm gonna take the plunge. Well then, he really set up his room. This is Sierra's room. There's all kinds of weird stuff in here. Where'd he even get it all from? More importantly, he still hasn't turned up, which means he can't really complain if I don't get his permission to search his room, right? Okay. What's over here? What's this? Oh, it was just the door. Okay. A monitor. Not important. And a camera. Unimportant. Alright. Bed. It's a normal bed, pretty much just like the one in my room. I love how he has fancy tablecloths, but not a fancy blanket. I think there's something in the cardboard box. It's blueprints for something, and something's made out of, it looks like cardboard, plastic, and plaster. Although the designs were for that robot. Is this Robo Justice? And it's in Hito's room. But wait, these blueprints. Something about them bothers me. The arms, but yeah, that's definitely not Hito's writing. He said that he literally studied how to write better. Robo Justice Blueprints has been added to the Truth Bullets section of your handbook. What else is there? Bathroom. It's soundlessly check the bathroom. There's nothing in here. It's pretty grungy, though. How does the bathroom even get this dirty? Because he doesn't, like, organize it? Like, it depends. If you say grungy as in, like, it's gross, then he's not making sure that it's going down the drain. His hair is probably clogging the drain, actually, and all the dirt is freaking, like, coming back up the drain, maybe. He's got some pretty wild hair. Not that I'm complaining. It's pretty awesome. I love Hito's hair. Leave the area, I guess. Is someone going to be at the door? Yep. Makoto, big news, big news! What's wrong? We found Kyoko! What? Is she okay? Where is she? Wait, I wasn't done. There's more big news.
Just a second.
Robo Justice showed up too. Robo Justice? It's Hito wearing the costume.
Okay.
Anyway, as soon as you can, head to the pool on the second floor. I think Hito and Kyoko would turn up at the same time. Anyway, I have to head to the pool. I ran off to the second floor as fast as I could. Oh, they're all over there. Oh, I was looking at the big locker. Kyoko and...
I mean...
Hito, man, I have had the worst day. Hito? There's a big locker near the pool.
Right.
I found Hito. He was jammed into the pool room locker. It looked like he was fast asleep, so I kicked him and woke him up.
Don't be mean!
I still can't believe you kicked me. You could have been a little more gentle about it, like, I don't know, caress my face or something.
What?
That's creepy. Anyway, Kyoko, where have you been all this time? You just disappeared all of a sudden without a trace.
Well,
It was something I had to check up on. What do you mean? Never mind. I can't never mind.
it's nothing.
Never mind.
Hey,
More importantly, she says that, but does she have any idea? Does she know people think she might be spying for the
And?
mastermind? First of all, Hito, you need to explain to us why you're dressed like that.
I mean...
Well, I mean, I have no idea. Just 1 second I was asleep. I don't even know how that happened. Then I woke up and I was here. I don't care. Do something about that costume. It pains me just to look at you. Well, I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help? Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself?
Got it all
I didn't
wrong!
make this stupid friggin' thing.
it would seem...
There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. We don't really have a choice. Let's help him. It took everyone's help, but slowly we were able to get Hito out of the suit. I should have talked to everyone before I talked to Kyoko. That was a mistake. Oh well. It took a few minutes, but eventually we got all the pieces off. Yeah, free at last. Isn't it kind of weird how perfectly the suit fits Hito?
So
More to the
then,
point, nobody but Hito would be able to wear that costume. Wait, what? Hold on a second.
honestly,
Don't bother trying to act innocent. The blueprints were in your room as well. How'd you know about that? Did Byakuya give you a hint too?
is that okay?
In other words, it is obvious to everyone that you made this costume. That's true. I saw the blueprints myself. Yeah, me too.
Could it be?
And it's obvious the one who put this costume on and went around attacking everyone
That's terrible!
was Hito. Shall we tie him up and gag him?
Just the worst.
Good idea. We wouldn't want him killing anyone else. Well, he can't. And I feel like we're jumping to conclusions a bit. Why would he stuff himself in a locker? Tie me up. Hold on, guys. I think it's going a little far.
That's right.
He may be a suspect, but he deserves fair treatment. Yeah, I mean, attacking blueprints? I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
What the heck?
You can't talk your way out of this. It's been decided. You killed them. What? Killed who? I have no idea what you're talking about. There must be fake Hito running around.
What are you saying?
You're the only one who can wear this costume. So who else could possibly have been the costumed attacker? What the heck? How do you know I'm the only one? Maybe you should try it on yourself before you convince Victor me.
Okay.
Fine, if you're gonna be a jerk about it, I will. Without missing a beat, she started putting on the Robo Justice costume.
Huh. See? Look. See how loose it is? I mean, come on. I'm blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing.
I'm telling you, it wasn't me!
And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
That's not a very nice thing to say. I mean, it's not like I made it. I just got caught up in the moment.
Well, either way, now we know for sure, right? I mean, it seems pretty clear that nobody but Hiro could have fit into this dumb costume.
In a huff, Hina took the suit back off again.
Ah.
Well, now that you're all out of excuses... No, you see, because you're a girl. If it was another guy, then... Makoto, go ahead. Okay. Against my will, I picked up the pieces off the floor and tried putting them on. It's no good. The arms are too long, and there's no way I can wear this. We don't get a little cutscene of him trying to suit on? That sucks.
Just a second!
See, I told you, it was impossible. You are absolutely right. It seems this costume was made to fit Hito's body exactly.
But
then there's another costume. They must have one that looks the same, but fits them. I think that Hifumi was the accomplice. But then why would he say yes to Hito? Maybe... But I'm sure they didn't... I don't know, did Hifumi know he was gonna die, and then the killer told him to say that it was Yasuhiro to blame him? Because, I mean, that's commitment if you're gonna go right to the death.
Honestly.
If you insist on this line of defense, then show us some evidence.
what the heck?
Evidence? You claim there is another suit, yes? Then you must find it and show it to us. What the heck?
Just the
Who
worst.
cares? Hito's the only one without an alibi during this whole thing anyway.
That's terrible!
Which is how we know it was him.
What?
I mean, is that really true? I have no idea what's been happening. Could you, someone tell me? Robo Justice costume has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook. Alright.
Oh.
I certainly did not expect Hito and Kyoko to show up at the same time. Where has Kyoko been hiding all this time? I have no idea
Then
because I looked everywhere.
perhaps-
Perhaps she is working for the mastermind. What else would explain her questionable behavior? But she might have been in her room, though. You were quite protective of her, yes? That's because she helped me out so much up until now. If I were the mastermind, that is exactly what I would do to earn your trust. The mastermind seems to want people to be upset, though. And from the person they were talking to, they were just supposed to kill someone if things didn't get going, so I don't exactly know what they can do at this point. Byakuya told me. Oh, I don't know why I read his name. That's weird. I'm fine. It's looking more and more like it really was a setup. I agree. If someone stuffed him in the locker, he wouldn't do that to himself. She looks like she's lost in thought. I don't think she's in the mood to talk. I'd better leave her alone.
What the heck?
There's no talking your way out of this one. You did it. Everyone knows it.
What the heck?
If you don't tell me what's going on, how am I supposed to understand? I think I figured out that someone's been killed, right? Hey, Makoto, who was it? Well, 2 people were killed. Taka and Hifumi.
What?
What? 2 people?
Just the worst.
Why are you freaking out? You did it. I did not. Wait, hold on. If those 2 people are the ones that were
How
killed,
about that?
that's it. I know who did it.
So then,
You may as well tell us then. Taka and Hifumi were fighting over alter ego, right?
At least
Which
30%
means alter ego
right.
and or Chihiro must have done it.
correct.
I see. That's unfortunate.
Please.
Huh? Unfortunate?
What the heck?
Stop trying to trick us. Just admit you did it, okay? I don't think he's smart enough
um,
to, but I also don't know if he's just pretending to be dumb or what.
I don't really know much about him. I'm telling you, you got it all wrong.
So
I know that note. No? Last night someone slipped a weird note under my door. And here's what it said. I found a hole, maybe we can use it to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m. But the last thing I remember is going to the rec room, then for some reason I fell asleep.
Hey.
A real killer probably drugged me or something.
Just the worst.
Not a chance.
So...
No, hold on, he could be onto something. The nurse's office did have chemicals that could do that. Really? I told you, someone's trying to set me up. A secret passage, a chance to escape, someone wrote all that to trick me. Even if that's true, you must be one dumb fish to bite every piece of bait that floats in front of you. Well, after being trapped here so long, even you know it's a lie. Even if you know it's a lie, you gotta check, right? Oh, they preyed on my desire to get out of here. They deceived me. They could have killed you. I still don't buy it.
Don't be mean.
Well, you should buy
Just
it.
a second.
Okay, then show us that note. With pleasure. I have it right here in my, pocket.
No way.
Like I lost it. Yeah, sure.
Please.
You gotta believe me, I want her to fly. As I said before, if you want us to believe you, you must produce evidence. Can you show us the note? I have no particular issue with what you claim, but if you want us to believe you, give us a reason. What the heck? You're serious? Yeah, Sahido's account has been added to the Truth Bullet's handbook. Now then, shall we resume our investigation? There's no time to waste before the class trial begins. Why do we need to keep investigating? We already know who did it.
What the heck?
Why? Why did you kill them? Tell us, Hido. No, it's like I said.
Just the worst.
Was it really to get money for the money Monokuma offered us? Yeah, that must be it. You must be totally broken. That's why. Wait, that's a false accusation. Someone help me.
What are you saying?
Just be thankful we haven't bound and gagged you. If you have time to yell and carry on, you have time to search for your evidence, right? Oh, you're right. I need to look for a second suit in that note. Feet don't fail me now. I guess I better go back to the on guard duty. I was gonna ask Genocide Jack to switch with me, but if she and Sakura got into a fight, we'd have a catastrophe on our hand. Well, bye. One by one, everyone peeled away. Makoto, do you have a second? Huh? Do you have some secret information for me? I want you to help me with the investigation.
It would seem...
Looks like I got a late start on this one, so I need to make up some ground. Sure, I don't mind helping, but can you promise me something? Later, when we have time, will you tell me why you disappeared?
Why is that?
No. You reject me so simply.
Anyway,
I need your help. You don't mind, do you? Okay.
Shall we go?
This is how Sayaka made it so easy to frickin' frame you, Makoto. You just agree with everyone without expecting anything back. Thanks. Now then, shall we?
Hey.
So, Makoto, first I'd like to examine the corpses. I can't believe I'm hearing that from a girl the same age as me.
Correct.
Dead bodies don't lie, you know. They tell the truth far more easily than the living. Wouldn't you agree? How am I supposed to answer?
Anyway,
we have to hurry before the class trial begins again. Yeah, you're right. Okay then, show me where the bodies are. They're in the repository. Then I guess we better head that way for now. Repository. Upstairs, or am I already on the right floor? I think not. We're stairs up here. Yes. Meow. 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 Oh. Ifumi and Taka. For a moment, Kyoko seemed to go rigid. But only for a moment.
So then...
Well then, let's get started. She crouched down next to Taka and without hesitation began poking and prodding the bodies.
I knew it.
The Monokuma file was right. They were killed using similar weapons. Her movements were so smooth. She was so calm. Seeing how comfortable she was actually made me feel a little more comfortable.
So,
Doesn't Kyoko get creeped out poking at dead bodies and stuff? I don't know. There are many aspects to the incident this time. Too many, to be honest. Considering that, it may be good to look back on everything that's happened.
So then...
Would you like my help? Sure, if you're offering it, I'd love your help. Yeah, let's look back on things. This morning, only 4 of us met up in the dining hall. Hina, Kyoko, you, and myself. We waited for the others, but nobody showed up, so we decided to go look for them. It was around 8 o'clock when we began our search. And soon after we split up, Kyoko disappeared. After that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room on the 3rd floor, then quickly came and got you and me. According to Celeste, she was attacked by a suspicious individual and laid unconscious for about an hour. In other words, she was attacked an hour before we found her, meaning just after 7 o'clock.
Based on the picture Celeste took, we discovered her attacker was dressed in a strange costume. It was Robo-Justice. It also became clear that this Robo-Justice had dragged Hifumi away.
After meeting with Toko and Byakuya, we began searching for the costumed assailant. We found an injured Hifumi in the library on the 2nd floor. We took him down to the nurse's office on the 1st floor, then resumed our search. But not long after leaving the nurse's office...
What's wrong?
I saw a shadow. Something moved around the top of the stairs.
Based on Celeste's claims, we went back to the 2nd floor. We were split up and began searching. Then right after that,
Celeste screamed. This time she'd apparently seen the suspect on the 3rd floor.
Celeste is very involved in this case.
Hearing her screams, we quickly made our way to the 3rd floor.
Was she the accomplice? No, maybe she's the mastermind. Hifumi was her accomplice. And she was just like distracting us so Hifumi could do that. And then she killed Hifumi. But I still don't understand why Hifumi would still go along and say it was Yasuhiro. That doesn't make sense.
Celeste, what's wrong?
That was rather intense scream for someone like you.
I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
And then...
Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back. At that point, we decided to split up into 2 groups. Celestina and I went back to the nurse's office.
Meanwhile, you, Byakuya, and Toko pursued the suspect on the 3rd floor. And when we got back to the nurse's office... Wait, then why was Celeste with... See? And then when I found Taka's body, Celeste was there. Was she not? That wasn't Byakuya, that was Celeste. When we got back to nurse's office, we found Hifumi's corpse, which is also when we heard the body discovery announcement play.
I left Celeste and
Hina alone and headed to the 3rd floor to tell the others what had happened.
However...
But at that same time, we discovered Taka's body in the equipment room, which means that Fumi and Taka's bodies were discovered right around the same time. Because I remember hearing the body discovery announcement play right after finding Taka.
And that's when I showed up and told you and Byakuya that Hifumi had been killed, right? Then you, me, Byakuya all headed back to the nurse's office, leaving behind Toko, who had fainted. But as soon as we left the physics lab and ran into Celeste, who had just arrived to tell us something very unusual, I didn't realize how freaking often I was running into Celeste. Hifumi's body has disappeared. Yeah, see, she's the one who tells us everything. We hurried back to the nurse's office to discover that his corpse was in fact gone.
Then we remembered we had abandoned the unconscious Toko and rushed back to the equipment room.
This can't be happening.
Are we hallucinating all this or something?
This time Taka's body had disappeared, so from there we began our search for both the missing bodies. And after some time,
Celeste told us she'd found the bodies and we all headed to the repository.
See Celeste again! And there we just rediscovered the 2 bodies that had apparently vanished. She's never this involved. And that brings us up to now.
However...
Looking back, things have certainly been very active.
For Celeste.
If you want to look back on the case again, let me know. I'm fine anytime.
Alright, so she's gonna be our person to redo it. The biggest problem I have right now is how the killer was able to move Hifumi's massive corpse from the nurse's office where he was discovered to here, the repository, all the way from the 1st floor to the 3rd, all without anyone noticing it. I just can't see how that's possible. Further, it seems that Hifumi died from a blow to the head. He was most likely killed using Just a Hammer 3, which we found in the nurse's office, but... When we found his body in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered in blood. But now they're spotless. Does that mean someone wiped his glasses clean? But who would do that, and why? Taka was killed by a blow to the head. He must have been struck with Justice Hammer 4, which was laying on the floor in the equipment room. And there's a tarp laid out under his body. The killer must have used it to move Taka's body. That way it wouldn't leave any bloodstains as it moved. As it was moved, I guess.
I see.
Makoto, I have found something.
Hey.
You did? You remember the wristwatch Taka always wore on his left hand? He did? I guess you used it to keep punctual, right?
Whew.
Are you so oblivious to the people around you? Do you dislike other people that much? No, it's not it. Anyway, so you said he had a watch.
So then...
Take a look. It's broken. You can see the hands aren't moving, right? It most likely broke when he had his encounter with his assailant. And if you notice, the hands are frozen just past 6 o'clock. So that would mean the watch was broken sometime just after 6, before any of this happened?
That's right.
But last night, Taka's watch definitely wasn't broken.
Hey, you! How long are you gonna keep us waiting?
Taka's irritated voice pierced the air as he stared pointedly at his wristwatch.
It's almost 10 o'clock. Do you know that? Bedtime for all little boys and girls.
In other words...
So if it worked at 10 o'clock if it worked at 10 last night, it couldn't have been broken at 6 p.m., meaning it must have happened at 6 this morning. Broken wristwatch has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook.
However,
And that's not all. Look at Taka's left hand. He appears to be gripping something. You're right, there's something white in there.
Makoto,
Can you try and pry it out? Me?
because
Rigor mortis has already set in. Boys are better suited for this kind of manual labor, right? I hope you're being sarcastic to make him, like, get more involved. Okay. As much as I didn't want to, I grasped Taka's cold hand. The ice-cold hand was nearly enough to cause my heart to stop beating. After some effort, I was finally able to free the object from his tightly clenched fist. A piece of paper?
hey,
Was that all he had in his hand? Yeah, that's it. Just a little scrap of paper. It doesn't seem like much of a clue,
is
does it?
that right?
I wonder about that. Kyoko then turned to Hifumi's
So
body.
then-
Let's check Hifumi's body now. Perhaps he's left us a few clues on his own. Kiyotaka's scrap of paper was added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. So, did you find anything?
Indeed.
I did, more than I expected, to be honest. Look at this. A wad of paper?
That's right.
Hifumi had it hidden on him. Hidden?
Indeed.
He'd stuffed it in his pants, so I can only assume he'd hidden it on purpose, you see. In his pants? Wait, so
Why is that?
It was just his pants, not like in his socks or something. I don't know what that means.
Hey,
Anyway, let's take a look at the paper. Go ahead, Makoto. Open it up. When I think about how it was stuffed down his pants, it's like, better to be important, Hifumi, or I'll never forgive you for this. A note? I found a whole... See, yeah, Hifumi was definitely the what's it called? What were we saying? The assistant, the assailant, no. Accomplice. I knew it started with an A. Found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
so,
That sounds very familiar. That's it. That's the same thing Hito said. And he was telling us the truth.
however,
Although it's not exactly the same, is it? Last night someone slipped a weird note under my door, and here's what it said. I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet at the rec room at 1 a.m. The time is different. Hiro told us that his note said to meet at 1 a.m., but the note they wrote Hifumi asked him to meet at 6 a.m.
is that right?
Hold on, just because Hifumi had the note doesn't mean it was meant for him. Yeah, I didn't think it was, but that's because I forgot that it said 1 a.m. for a minute there. I thought it was the same note, huh?
So,
Part of it had been torn off, right? I think there's likely some meaning here. It was for Taka! There's some meaning behind the part of being ripped. Could you maybe explain a little more? Think carefully. Why would he have been clutching that scrap of paper so tightly? Hey, I have no idea.
so then,
What if it wasn't just a scrap of paper when he was holding it? What if it was something more important? And how could something important like that become a mere scrap of paper? That's what you need to answer. If Fumi had to get it away from him so that there wasn't evidence that someone had told him to go there. Because it all was supposed to happen before the 7 a.m. Well, during 7 a.m. and that's way before.
hey,
And while we're at it, I should tell you one other thing. The two victims this time definitely had their e-handbooks on them, so the handbooks have nothing to do with how the murders were carried out. Not that there was any reason to think they were connected to the killings in the first place. So you're saying I don't have to think about the handbooks this time,
is
right?
that right?
If you don't have to think about them at all, I wouldn't have gone out of my way to mention it. All I said was that they weren't used to help carry out the murders. There may come a point, however, where a handbook may play a role. A handbook may play a role. I don't think I understand. But if Kyoko thinks it's important, I'd better keep it in mind. So e-handbook has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Ding dong, bing bong. And now we move on to the class trial.
Are you excited? Are you pumped? It's time for the class trial to begin!
Yay!
Like the bright burst of fireworks, like the flash of a soul clashing with life and death. And so, with no further ado, everyone please meet at the usual spot.
Yay!
Make your way to the red door on the first floor of the school.
You got it, Chief.
See you soon.
It would seem...
It's unfortunate, but I suppose this is where our investigation comes to an end. You'll have to figure out the rest for yourself and come to the proper conclusion. Yeah, you're right. It's not like all of our lives on the line, and like, you could just give the evidence that you know instead of waiting for me, an idiot, to figure it out.
Shall we go?
Well, we better get going. Okay. Dun 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 dun. Everyone had heard Monokuma's proclamation and they were gathered by the red door. As soon as we were all there... Oh, there's two.
Appears!
Hello, hello, hello. He's multiplied?
Wrong.
Nope, not multiplication, just looks that way because of an illusion. He said in the very first, the prologue that he had a bunch of different Monokumas stationed in the school, and also that he had remote control or whatever, so he's obviously a robot. I don't know why people get confused. Do they genuinely think he's like an entity that lives and breathes? I'm moving so fast it only looks like I've multiplied. Can't you guys tell which one is the real Monokuma? Can we just get onto the elevator already?
Boy!
You're not playing along. He's hinting that there were 2 people involved, and I think it was Celeste and Hifumi.
Stop talking.
We're not here to play with you.
Okay.
Fine.
Hey!
And if everyone's here and ready to go, please board the pain train elevator. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
Okay then, shall we?
Please!
Oh, hold on, I'm not mentally prepared yet.
What the heck?
You'll never be mentally prepared. You can't run away anymore, hero. You're gonna pay for your sins. Owie, I'm gonna need you to turn it down, 20%. Because my boy Taka deserves vengeance, not anger.
What the heck?
I told you already, I didn't do it for serious. That reminds me, did you ever find the costume or the note? Well, no, but how unfortunate that it would seem we have our culprit.
Hey,
This isn't the place to talk about it. Save your accusations for when we get to the courtroom.
That's right.
She's right, let's get down there first, then the story can really begin. Yeah, good idea. That's right. I have to do it. I can't let whoever killed Hifumi and Taka get away with it. Celeste! For everyone who's still alive, and for the 2 that lost their lives. The one who killed Hifumi and Taka, the one who killed 2 of our friends. The killer is someone right here. She's even centered out. It has to be her. She usually doesn't even care to investigate, and this time she was all over it. There's no way. It's it. And then obviously, Sakuda I don't think would kill anyone. She's pretty she's got her moral code. And then Awie's just doesn't want this to happen anymore. She's breaking from it. Yakia would kill if it got boring, but no one's let it get boring to this point, so he hasn't had to. And Kyoko, she seems to just be good at, she seems to be actually the only one investigating, so I feel that's what her secret is. She's trying to find secrets about Monokuma, and it's everyone was talking so loudly about Alter Ego, and then Alter Ego went missing, so she's probably not sharing her secrets with anyone. And then I feel Jill would just let us know if she killed someone. She'd be yeah, that was me. And she's not stupid enough to kill anyone just to admit it, so she's not going to kill anyone. Yeah, Kido, he's just a chill dude. So that's what I think anyway. Free attitude. Me neither.
Just the worst.
Let's hurry up and go so we can make Kido pay for his crimes. Honey. I need to think. Were you listening? Wait till we get to the courtroom to begin your arguing. It would appear the culprit has been confirmed. This trial will be over in no time. Oh, she's so confident.
hey,
The story begins when we get down there. It wasn't me, you gotta believe me.
Yes.
Come on, Big Mac, let's do it. Oh, I love the nicknames. She has nicknames for everyone, or if it's just me. I took one last deep breath and exhaled slowly. I began to walk towards the elevator. Once everyone was aboard, the doors closed on their own and the steel box began to move. Oh, there's so many less of us. The clunking of the elevator kept us company as we fell further and further down. There was no going back. Until we settled all this, we couldn't go anywhere. I'm not sure how long it was before the elevator finally came to a stop. The elevator door slid open, opening up into a cruel fate. Oh, it's different. This time I actually see it. When I see all of you gathered together like this, I realize just how few of you there are left. Your school life is slowly reaching its climax.
Just the worst.
Only because of you. Why? Why are you making us do such cruel things to each other? What? You really hate me so much? But I'm so cute.
Come on.
Stop goofing around and begin the trial. Don't rush me. Of course I'm going to start it. I would never be stay tuned for the action-packed class trial after this commercial break. I never hold out on you like that. Okay, let's begin. Get to your assigned seats. And so the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly face, a deadly class trial. I'm gonna save real quick.
Okay, so we're gonna look at our no, not presents. Our truth bullets. I went down too many. Truth bullets. Alright. So the Monokuma file number 1. The victims were Hifumi Yamada and Kiyotaka Ishimaru. The cause of death for each was a blow to the head. It's thought that they were both killed with a similar weapon. The tarp was found in the repository under Kiyotaka's lifeless body. It was apparently used to move Kiyotaka in order to avoid leaving any bloodstains. The dolly was found when the body was rediscovered in the repository. The specific dolly has no handles and blood was found on one of its wheels. It is assumed that this is the same dolly that was in the equipment room where Kiyotaka's body had originally been discovered. When they were first found in the nurse's office, Ifumi's glasses were covered in blood. However, when they were next seen in the repository, they were completely clean. Hammers of all shapes and sizes were found in the repository. One of them was found wet and had apparently been recently washed. The door connecting the art room up to the repository was designed to open only from the repository side. According to Aoi, it was locked during the search for the missing body. However, when the body was rediscovered, it had somehow been unlocked. A puddle of blood was found in the equipment room where Kiyotaka's body was initially found. A tire track had been left behind in blood. The cloth was found in the trash in the nurse's office. It was branded with a popular cartoon character and was found with blood on it. One has to wonder if someone used it to wipe some blood away. Ifumi's body disappeared when Celeste and Aoi left the nurse's office to use the bathroom. Apparently, they weren't gone for more than a minute or two. This is the note that Yasuhiro wrote to get everyone to meet in the dining hall. Meet in the dining hall is all it says. The handwriting is remarkably neat and clear. These are the blueprints for Robo-Justice, which were found in Yasuhiro's room. No one but Yasuhiro could have possibly fit in the costume. In addition, anyone wearing it would not be able to see their feet or bend at the waist for more than 90 degrees. My throat was getting a bit of a tickle, sorry. Apparently, Yasuhiro received a mysterious note last night that reads, I found a hole, maybe we can use it to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m. Kiyotaka's wristwatch broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock. It was confirmed that it was late last night. The watch still worked, which means it must have broken the following morning when he was attacked. Kiyotaka's lifeless hand was found clutching a small scrap of paper. Ifumi had this note hidden on him, and the edge of it appears to be torn. The note reads, I found a hole, maybe we can use it to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m. Each student has their own e-handbook, which also acts as a card key. The owner's name is displayed each time the handbook is booted up. It is believed that no handbooks were involved in the carrying out of these murders this time. Alright. Do I want some skills? I know what I have issues with. Bleh. Is that just automatic every time? No, I can do this. There we go. We good? We good? Cool. Alright, I'm finished the preparation. Let's get in here. Class trial. All rise.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial.
We know.
Your votes will determine the results.
We've done it 3 times now.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
We got it.
Now then, to begin with...
We already know who did it.
Okay, Aoi.
Was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit.
Sure, but he was also stuffed into a locker. You care to explain that, Celeste?
Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
I didn't! Someone knocked me out! I was asleep the whole time! I don't know anything about it!
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Jill's just like, you did it! I'm into this!
Who are you calling a murderer?
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit.
And not in his writing.
Parts we assume were used to build it. And all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling.
You also have to admit that it doesn't make a lick of fucking sense.
It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you?
Ifumi probably made the suit because he makes figurines, right?
I don't know!
Or no, he wanted to make figurines. Is Hiro really the killer, or... Before anything else, we have to make that clear. Alright, give me my bullets. Make your argument. Yeah, so Hito's message. Alright.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff! It's not true! It's a conspiracy!
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No! Just hold on a second!
Wait, that was it? Look at the blueprints. The handwriting is awful messy. I remember that. Okay, so when she mentions
Everything
the
we
blueprints, I have to
found
do
in
it.
your
Alright.
room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough
Fuck off.
that
Go
you
back,
are
go back.
the
No!
culprit.
It's not true! It's Hiro! No! Just hold on a second!
Everything we found in your room.
Shit,
The
wrong button.
blueprints, the suit parts, they are all...
There we go.
No, it's wrong.
Break!
Are we sure Hiro really made those blueprints?
We're pretty sure he didn't.
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hiro wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared.
Monokuma is right fucking there, dude! What the fuck? Are you serious? I was gonna make a comment on how Celeste was instantly like, what do you mean? But holy shit, Alter Ego is supposed to be a fucking secret!
The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
We're just gonna hope that Monokuma doesn't know who Alter, doesn't care and didn't notice that AI's comment.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on! I'm not smart enough to think I've tried to change my handwriting anyway.
I don't think you're smart enough for a lot of things, you know? Not that I think you're stupid. I just think you don't have a lot of, common sense.
So, Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
I've been saying that for a while.
And he's not the only one. I think Hiro's innocent as well.
Oh, you're actually gonna, talk about it instead of just standing by and listening?
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit? Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
And of course he passes it off to me.
So, who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
Well, considering Hito was in it when we found him, and the suspicious individual in question is the one that must have been in the suit, I think it was just Hito.
Other than Hiro...
Other than Hito, I can't think of anyone else who could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit, and we never found any kind of second
Then there
suit.
can be no doubt. Hiro is the prime suspect.
Did I read that while he was saying it? I wasn't paying attention. Sorry, I'm not used to these lines being, voiced.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hiro didn't do it.
It makes perfect sense. Hiro was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
If anything, it was only involved in order to frame Hito, right?
What? Now that's a bold assumption.
Oh, I bet you're getting a kick out of this, Jill.
And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Well, you better have a reason for my reason.
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Let's do it.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around.
But he's trying to get everything out of the way, dude.
All things have a proper order.
He's also, a little crazy.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body.
Oh, that's easy. I'm pretty sure they put him on a dolly after wrapping him up in the tarp.
It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items.
The dolly for transportation and the tarp for cleaning.
Makoto,
Cleanliness.
can you tell us what they were?
Another pass off. Things that were used to move Taka's body. They must have been. There's the blue tarp.
I got it!
There's still one more thing. Yeah, I knew it. Okay, the dolly.
I got it!
Yeah, you got it.
They were a dolly and a tarp, right?
What's with the attitude?
So, let's see if I can explain.
Fuck you, Byakuya. You better have a reason for your
Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room. And then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that up until then was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when
I didn't
Taka's
even look
body
at the dolly
reappeared
because
in
I
the
accidentally looked at
repository,
Toko first.
so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body. Am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
What do you mean?
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body?
No, because I didn't look at it.
That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
No, because I think the note that was written to Taka means that they planned on killing him. Wait, which room did they say to meet him in? No, they said the rec room. But what did Taka's note say? Frig, I should have focused on the details more. I just figured they're the same note. But if it said to meet him in the other room, the storage room, whatever it was, then it could have been prepared for him to die in there so that they could wheel him out. Or someone could have moved it there after he died, considering he died at 6 a.m. and we didn't find him until like 8, quarter after 8.
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
I'm thinking
There is
about
no
it.
shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway.
Oh.
We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
I'm usually the one that solves the fucking trials, you dingus. Wow, I've never had anyone sound so nice and being so mean. But maybe I can change her mind. I can just explain to them why the dolly must have been moved from the equipment room to the repository. A new element has been added. Why not? It's not like we've done freaking 3 trials already and we should have all the freaking elements gone by now. Reloading. Starting with this next bullet time battle, we're going to add one more ingredient. At the bottom of the screen underneath the tempo marker, you'll see your ammo count. Up until now, there hasn't really been a limit on how you destroy your opponent's statements, but from now on, just locking on and pressing triangle won't be enough to handle them. Now it will cost you 1 bullet to destroy a single remark. Once you run out of bullets, you can't destroy any more statements, no matter how locked on you are. However, you can reload by pressing the square button. Just like locking on, you have to press the square button in time with the tempo marker. Basically, just remember that square button now has a function along with the X and the triangle buttons. You will automatically reload at the start of fever time and your ammo will not decrease. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, you won't have to reload at all. Too bad I'm not set on gentle, in which case you can ignore everything you just said. Well then, good luck and have fun. So we're gonna do the rhythm thing now. The moment of truth already?
You had it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere.
You're so mean.
I cannot agree.
This should prove it.
I always press it before they're done talking because I'm gonna like lose.
If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here. When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread.
That's kind of something that's kind of stupid that you missed.
The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room. And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Is this a rich people thing that, like, I proved you wrong? Yes, you're the killer, so I get you being upset about it, but, like, I still don't get why Byakuya did. Jeez, does Celeste really hate me that much? No, she hates being caught.
Well, anyway,
Prosecuted.
that was
and
just something
executed.
we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo-Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then what kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer.
Because he was stuffed inside of a locker, and that's kind of something that it would be stupid if he did it to himself.
If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
He was carrying him from the front, Hifumi. I'm assuming they mean Hifumi's body. And it was carrying him from the front, but he would have had to bend down in order to pick him up. If I look how the body was moved, it'll be clear why the person in the suit couldn't have done it. What does that mean? What does he mean by that? I was gonna say when it gives me my bullet. I will make my argument. Robo-Justice costume.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room.
True.
And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Right.
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Okay.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
There it is. Can't bend over in the suit.
You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
You know exactly what I mean. You wore the suit and you even said yourself you can't bend over and it was a stupid design. Aoi Asahina.
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember?
Oh, why are they not saying it this time? You totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
When you're in
Well, it
that
was
suit,
important anyway.
not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
Feeling kinda shitty, are we now, Aoi?
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
I've never tried pushing people on a dolly. I just string them up with scissors.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Byakuya makes a fair point.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
But he couldn't do that either because of the latch. Like, if they were trying to make him look guilty, this is a really, 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 really dumb design. Like, if this was Celeste's idea, which I'm still saying, going on Celeste's train here. Celeste is just, like, how did she win gambling? Because she's dumb. There's absolutely no chance that the costume was taken off just to move the body because you can't take it off by
I
yourself.
got it! I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember,
I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help? Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself? I didn't make this stupid friggin' thing. There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. Looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. We don't really have a choice. Let's help him.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hiro wasn't just making it up?
Kyoko was the one that said he couldn't get it off. And Kyoko, oh, I guess you all think she's the mastermind's assistant,
Of
whatever.
course I wasn't making it up.
if he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right!
So, it's really, really true that Robo-Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
That's what we've been saying.
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hero in the robot suit, correct?
Because he's being brave.
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took?
That just raises more questions than it answers, honey. Plus, how would you have taken the picture of it attacking Hifumi and then saying you got knocked out and then all in the suit where he could barely move and see his feet? He'd have to have picked up the hammer, which he wasn't wearing and holding in the picture because he was holding Hifumi.
You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo-Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that?
I have multiple ideas, but I'll let the characters do it so I don't sound any more stupid than I might already.
Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
Listen, I don't think he was being very truthful in his last moments. How did you get hurt? That guy hit me. What guy? Robo-Justice. That's what I decided to call him just now.
So
Which he has
long
the
as those
initials for on
facts
him, which doesn't
exist,
make sense.
the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hero, without a doubt.
Without a doubt. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Hold on a second!
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it. Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
She said series of unfortunate events and that makes me happy. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna move on though.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo-Justice.
I love how her serious voice says Robo-Justice.
It also soon became clear that this same Robo-Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office...
What's wrong? I saw a shadow, something moving about the top of the stairs.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down the hallway and disappeared.
and then...
Scream. Huh? Well, what was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi, he's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we gotta go quick.
At that point, we decided to divide up into two groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead. And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room.
But Celeste was in there too, even though I left her in the nurse's office.
We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time. Because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
Or am I just remembering that wrong? Sakura and Byakuya were definitely there, but I thought there was a third person. I know Toko was passed down the floor, but standing. I thought 3 people were standing, but maybe I'm just remembering it wrong.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
Hifumi's body has disappeared.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated. It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation. And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
The contradictions hidden in what happened to Taka? In order to uncover the truth of this case, I have to find them, no matter what. Alright. Make my argument, Monokuma file number 3. They were both hit in the head with a similar object.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi.
I'm thinking so
perhaps
too
it was
because of his
after?
clock.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
No, he may have come
What makes
first.
you say that?
Nice guy come first.
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
No, shit. Come on, Makoto, don't scare me like that. Make me think something weird's going on. I need to think about it one more time. There must be a contradiction in there somewhere.
So, regarding I wonder if, or perhaps it was, we already know what order Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3.
But that could
while
have been just to
Taka's
throw us
death
off.
came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
That could have been just to set us up. What?
So,
Do I have to
regarding
reload or...
Taka's
Oh
death,
yeah, I can do the thingy
I
with the
wonder
thingy.
if he died before Hifumi. Or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Oh, how do I do this again? Do I hold it? I can't
It's
remember.
true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
Yeah, I don't understand what I'm missing.
So, regarding
I
obviously
wonder if he
record
died
something.
before, or perhaps it was after?
we already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was
Killed with while Taka's death.
See?
No,
so
it's
obvious
not.
Taka came.
So, regarding Taka's,
I wonder if,
or perhaps it was after.
we already know what order they were killed in. Taka
Don't
came
understand.
last
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Oh, hit it with
It's
its own
true
self.
that Hifumi was killed with while Taka's death.
See? So it's
Can I-
obvious Taka came after.
I thought I could change my bullets.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after.
We already know what order they were killed in.
No.
Taka came last
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the
Well, I know
Justice
that thing's
Hammers.
not right, so
It's true that Hifumi
I
was while
fucked it up
Taka's
again. It's
death.
gotta be the first one then.
So it's obvious Taka came.
Go again.
So, I wonder
every
if he
pink
died,
one with it.
perhaps it was after.
We already know what order they were killed in.
No. Fuck. Yeah, I'm losing hearts.
So,
Fuck off.
I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know what order Taka came last
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
No. I'm so confused.
So, regarding Taka's,
Help. No, I know what the
wonder
freaking
if he
controls
thought
are. I
perhaps
just don't
it was
understand
after.
what Monokuma.
We already know what order they.
I don't understand. I can't reload. Not that that's what I wanted, but
They were killed in. Taka came last
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed while
it's
Taka's
killed.
death.
See? So it's obvious Taka came.
so, I wonder if he, or perhaps it was after.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last
ah, fuck me.
What makes you say
I don't
because of the
understand what
numbering
I'm
of the
doing wrong.
Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was while Taka's death.
See?
There's only
So
two.
it's obvious Taka came.
So, I wonder if, or perhaps it was after.
We already know what order they were killed.
Thank you.
No, it's wrong.
Finally. Great. That was like pulling teeth.
Hold
I
on.
feel like I broke my
There's
freaking...
no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers.
That's what I figured. It's just you said freaking... but
If
whatever.
anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
That's what I was saying.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi?
Evidence that proves that Taka was killed before Hifumi, something that relates to what time he died, his clock, his watch, it's his watch. Hangman's Gambit, it was his watch. Can it be an actual word that I know, please? Wristwatch, yes, wristwatch, okay. I need an I. I need an I. I. Thank you. S-T-W, need a W. Thank you for giving me a word I know. I know this word. Oh, I need an S. Oops, now I need W. And then A. And C. And an H. I need an H. Give me an H, bitch. Thank you. See, I know that word, wristwatch. The other time it gave me a word that has nothing to do with what it was asking me, at least that I knew of.
I got it! Taka's wristwatch. See? Look! It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night,
His irritated voice is bursting through the air. He said it's almost 10 o'clock, and you know that, and it's bedtime for all the little boys and girls, and he was upset because he was grumpy because he wanted to go to bed.
so if it wasn't broken after 6 last night,
And that would be his official time of death.
I didn't mean to press A there, I'm sorry.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
that's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us.
Which makes me even sadder, because, like, he's my baby, and no one even noticed he was dead for, like, 3 hours.
We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, Then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window.
Yep, and everyone's a suspect again.
Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder. But all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
But I think he was in on it.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been. Hifumi, he's in the nurse's offices. Bad, come on, we gotta go back. We've seen this movie like 4 times now.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body.
That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
We know for a fact he wasn't dead because we spoke to him after this.
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
He screamed himself.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
You're not really relevant to this case, Jill, not to hurt your feelings or anything, but that's why no one's mentioned you.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then!
She would have said so, she would have called him all pretty, she would have strung him up with scissors and done her whole bloodlust thing. We've got this, we know it's not her.
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body.
And that fact as well, but as I said before, I think Hifumi may have just walked. Which would explain why he cleaned his glasses.
Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway. In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
You're just pointing fingers so that no one catches you. We're gonna catch you, Celeste, as long as the games stop being so difficult.
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
He bitch gone got up and walked away. That's my assumption with the whole glasses being cleaned and him not being dead. And possibly because he had that note that was for Taka, I think he was in on it. I don't think Hifumi was quite as innocent as we think he was.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said,
we could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. So when the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time, because he just stood up, cleaned his glasses, threw the rag out, and then walked up to the repository, probably moving Taka's body in the process. 2 birds, 1 stone.
his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the 3rd in that short amount of time?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
You know, by him walking his own fat ass up the stairs?
What? How?
What I just said, bitch.
If the dead body were to move itself.
Kyoko's got me. We're cool.
The dead body moved on its own?
We all know he wasn't dead. We heard him talk. He gave this very poetic dying speech.
No! Not another... ghost!
You can say that, but if you mention that the ghost you're saying has another two is alter ego, I'm gonna get pissed. Because, like, at this point, I think it was Monokuma that took him, because no one can keep their fucking mouth shut.
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is...
What we all know, that Hifumi was still alive.
We thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
We know he was.
Alive?
You're the last person to speak with him,
Are
Audi.
you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
Everyone's surprised as if he didn't have a dying last, breath.
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
And then we found it again, and it wasn't, which would only imply that it wasn't dead the first time, you fucking, smooth-brained dumbass.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That's what I'm saying.
That it isn't possible.
What? Because you did? Because I also noticed that you were ordering him around a lot for a bit there before all this happened. The idea that Hifumi is still alive, is it really possible? Yes, we spoke to him. He said words. Those weren't dead words. Those were living, dying words. Broken wristwatch. This isn't what we need, so I'm gonna have to, scan something.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
Nope.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us.
But that was at the same time they found
Hifumi's
Taka's
dead
body.
had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really
So sure.
Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Oh, okay, so I gotta scan.
Are you saying that when we
Kyoko
first there's a
saying someone
chance
else's
he was
discovery.
actually...
No. It is impossible. Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body Hifumi's dead body had, and that is why the
Are we really? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Alright, we're gonna go through this one time. One time.
Are you saying that when we first
Yeah.
found him, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
Oh shit, I fucked that up. Maybe you have some idea, but I don't understand. Shoot! No, that was my fuck up. No.
Are you
I gotta
saying
skip
that
all
when we
this and go
first
back
there's
to
a
what
chance
Kyoko
he-
No.
said.
Hifumi was
And then when
dead, and
she
you know
said-
that. Surely you heard the body Hifumi's dead,
This.
and that is why the
That's
Are we
what I have to
really
say.
Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
No, okay. Yep. I still got plenty of time. Alright.
Are you saying that when we first there's a chance he...
No. Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
Break!
Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Because Byakuya, Toko, and Sakura discovered Taka's body at the same time.
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
And then it went off a second time because we found Hifumi's actual body after he actually was hurt and dead. Plus, I just remembered this after saying that because it's like, well, why was he how did he manage to walk if he had a brain injury? They were in the nurse's office where I specifically looked in the fridge for a drink and there was blood, but I didn't make a note of it that I remember. But that was there, so he probably covered his head full of blood from that thing and then walked over to the repository and the killer, again, assuming it's Celeste, she's seeming pretty fucking guilty to me right now, bashed him over the head with a big hammer, and then he died, but I still don't know why I said Yasuhito.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if two bodies had been found, there really should have been two announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
There were two announcements after they were moved and we found Hifumi saying his
What
last
do you
words.
say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail.
But there were two announcements.
But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
Well, it went off twice. Plus, when we went into Hifumi's room, who was it that found him? Fuck, we've been over this twice now. If there were 3 of us or not. Because the body for Taka would have gone off with Byakuya, Sakura, and Toko, whereas it was just Celeste and I. But didn't Aoi go in there too? But if Celeste is the one that killed Hifumi, then it wouldn't have been her anyway. But at that point, we already know it's Celeste, so that's not important. Shit, I don't know.
Actually, that was plenty.
He's got this. I'm confused, but Byakuya's got it.
He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time, which means
That when it went off the second time with Hifumi, that was the time that he was discovered for the first time.
even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Does everyone here have short-term memory, or were you knocked out? Because no, you were knocked out. Okay, no, that's fine. No, you're good, Jill. You were unconsciously not Toko or yourself.
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
The second body discovery announcement. The first time it played was when we found each body in the nurse's office in the equipment room. And the second time was when, after Hifumi came back to life. Or, no, okay, after both bodies were discovered.
We
It
heard
happened
it a
before
second time
Hifumi
in
came
the
back to life.
repository, when we rediscovered the two bodies.
Ding dong ding dong. Or ding dong ding dong. Ding dong ding dong. I thought it was ding dong ding bong. This one's ding dong ding dong. Oh, because it's a different announcement. A body has been discovered. After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, a class trial will begin.
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
I like this. See, the first trial, everyone thought it was Makoto and no one really cared. The second trial, Byakuya, was fucking around in the background, so he didn't really, he just wanted to watch how people unfolded it. This time, Byakuya, doesn't really know what's happening, and it's actually kind of interesting to watch him, actually, what's the word that I used to get in trouble for not doing in school? Participate.
And in reality, when the two dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet.
What makes you think he would have been dead if we had heard his last words? Do you think he died and then was, not dead and then just died again? No. I think he was faking it. I don't think he was dying.
Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
It's just funny to think about if he's not actually the accomplice, because then it's he got attacked, was lying on the floor, and we're like, well, he must be dead, and just walked away.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
The glasses.
Oh, I know!
You do? You do? What is it?
Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
What?
That is the worst logic I have ever heard.
And she's the
But
killer.
honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Oh, you think? Come on.
Okay then,
I don't know.
let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
Are we doing our comic book thing here
This
now?
whole thing is pointless.
It is? Only because you don't want to get caught, Nissimo. There has to be proof that shows Hifumi was still alive. I have to find it and show everyone. Oh, okay. So we're doing this thing again. Never mind. Make your argument. Hifumi's glasses. Yeah, okay, so that's it. I don't need to.
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office.
True.
And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his
Isn't
body
it? Is it? She's
after
gonna say there's no
being
difference.
moved, other than the change in how it was positioned,
Oh, fuck, that doesn't count. Your meaningless words tire me. Please stop wasting my time. What do you mean? She said there was no difference.
The first time we found him, and then his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw it was in.
but when you compare his body before being moved and other than the change in how it was positioned,
Oh, okay. Sorry.
there was
I see.
no notable difference.
There we go.
No,
I
it's
was
wrong.
not actually reading because the pink words were in front of it. Break!
In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
It's pretty obvious for, people like me, but since you're so simple-minded, I guess I'll dumb it down for you, Celeste.
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
The evidence I found in the trash can in the nurse's office was... you.
I got it!
You got it!
It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot.
The same mascot that's on the camera that was belonging to Hifumi.
One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
Hifumi's, of course.
The character was... Princess Piggles. From Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
You think? I didn't even remember the first part, like the Princess P thing. And you freaking remembered every bit of it. Have you watched the anime, Aoi? Because I won't judge you if you have.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
Byakuya, who definitely wouldn't have that, and Hifumi. And is there anyone else? Oh, Toko.
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
I figured as much.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Okay.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... what exactly?
The whole point of the argument is that he wasn't dead.
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
Why would he wipe the glasses unless he needed to see to walk upstairs?
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
Like, that does nothing but raise suspicions that don't matter.
That's a good point.
Thank you, Sakura. As a glasses wearer, I agree.
Then it must have been him, right?
Yes.
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet.
And Celeste told him to. I don't know, I just said Celeste is getting
And
very
with
guilty.
that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
Yes. And that's why they left the thingy in the room Taka was found in, so that he could quickly go and move the body without being seen by going back and forth from the art room to the science room, back to the art room. It could just be to the science room, to the art room, and done.
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
Well, I found blood in the fridge in there.
The fridge in the nurse's office
Yeah, okay, she
contains
does it.
packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
The reason I didn't get it
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out. So he just dumped it everywhere. But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done. God, what an idiot.
She's getting off on this.
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained.
He
It
moved him.
should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
Hifumi. The one who Taka's corpse was.
I got it! It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
Because before he unlocked it, he was setting up the body.
The door was locked? Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside.
So while you were in there, or trying to get in the door, Hifumi was setting up Taka's body, or possibly being murdered by Celeste.
Which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
See, when they both killed, though, then that's probably why he got killed, because it wasn't specified either. That if there's an accomplice, only the one who does the killing gets blackened. But if they both do the killing, who's the blackened one?
But that means he took part in the murders.
Dude, I've been assuming this since his glasses, I think.
I just can't believe it.
Well, believe it, sister. You were sitting there all like, oh, let's kill the stoner dude. Like, deal with it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
If you're withholding evidence, I'd rather you weren't.
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to
God.
his involvement has yet to be revealed.
Well, why don't you reveal it?
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto?
Oh.
The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
Yeah, the note he wrote him. Telling that Hifumi stole the Taka could be. No. This one.
I got it!
And this is how he lured
You're
Taka
talking
down.
about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
What? In his pants?
Yes, his pants.
His tight pants that were on his tight legs.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now.
Just
Take
forget
a look
about
at
it.
what the note says.
Since he doesn't want to read it, I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
That's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go.
Actually, it's not.
Huh? Wait, this one's a little different.
Exactly.
In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
Well, how, did you just discovering this now? You talked about it with Kyoko. You know they were different. Did you think someone just got the same note and changed the number?
It's not the same?
No, so your note's still
In
somewhere.
other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro.
AKA Taka.
And that person could only have been... I got it! That's right! Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right?
Because he's the one that killed Taka. Oda wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy.
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right?
Oh, I see what she's getting at because Hifumi had the note, but it was in his pants while Taka had a ripped piece of paper. I have to prove
yes!
that.
Why must you ruin it every time?
I love her nickname. Man, Genocide Jack's too scary, but still, I can't let her get to me. No, I got this. I just gotta mention the scrap of paper. None of these are... Well, I guess the broken
Huffy
wristwatch.
had the note,
No.
right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m.
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter!
Yes, it does.
The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
No. I have no idea what you're talking about, but I wanted to shoot. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Whatever.
Huffy
Okay,
had the
well, it's
note,
not the
right?
broken wristwatch.
Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m. The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
What? Time was at 6 a.m. What happened at 6 a.m.? I need to clear that up.
Huffy had the note, right?
The broken wristwatch would have happened at 6 a.m. Okay.
Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
Fuck off.
6 a.m.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Thank you.
No, it's wrong.
Break!
No, there absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. We've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
I wasn't sure, actually, and I still forgot to read it there. But yeah, okay. One said the rec room and the other said the storage room or whatever.
Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note.
Which means it can only have been
I
meant for
think
him.
that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that...
Well, I appreciate you participating, though. Being a good sport there, Jill. Trying to make sure that we got all the facts. Thank you.
No further objections!
No, I didn't think so. She's just curious. I like her. I like the murderous psychopath.
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me.
But instead of murdering you, you were the scapegoat.
The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
Especially Taka, who had just, like, refound himself as... What do you call himself? Kyondo?
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it? Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely. Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Or they fought with it.
He stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
I will show you. Yeah, I've got the proof. Fuck off. God, you guys suck.
I got it!
You got it. I know you
When
got it. I
searched
got it.
Taka's
We all got
body,
it.
I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note...
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip,
In order to hide that they had been set up.
leaving behind only one small scrap.
To make it look like they were there for
Did
no
I
reason,
get all
guess.
that right?
You did, Sakura. I appreciate that you were
That
observant.
means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
And he tried to hide it. He didn't know he was going to die, though.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure.
So glad that I don't feel like an idiot anymore.
In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive.
No, he definitely died the second time. 'Cause,
Sorry, no.
yeah.
When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead.
After Aoi cried on his cheeks and he gave us Yasuhiro
The
remains.
second body discovery announcement proves that.
How are people forgetting such important details? I hope the other game doesn't have such, like, idiot characters. Like, the actual, like, things we have to argue are actual things. And not the fact that, like, he spoke and no one seems to remember that he wasn't completely dead right away.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
My bet's on Celeste.
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
Can we not say stop? Can we stop saying mastermind? Because I keep thinking that's the Monokuma mastermind and not the murder mastermind. There's a difference.
He was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
And who discovered them in the repository? Celeste.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
When Celeste
During that
found them.
time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing
And
body.
then Celeste found
In
it.
other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Especially Celeste.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together. Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus! Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they
Anyway.
were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right?
It was the wet one.
So if Hifumi was killed in the repository,
It was the wet one.
culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi,
The wet
then
one.
put the hammer back where they found it.
It was the wet one that didn't have
But
justice on
wouldn't
it.
that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
We would save so much time if you stopped insulting people's intelligence and just got to the part where you knew that they were wrong.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
Can Makoto please
So the
have a chance to
question
have
is,
to speak?
how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers?
There was so many in the freaking repository.
Personally, I haven't a clue.
There were like 5 in the repository and one of them was
So
wet.
which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Then,
The wet one?
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
Like one of the many hammers that were hanging on the wall in the
I
repository?
don't think it
the
is
one that was
possible.
wet?
They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
And the same thing was a hammer!
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
The wet hammer. The weapon that was actually used to kill Hifumi. The whole picture surrounding this case won't become clear until we figure that out. Somehow I have to find the truth. I know what it is. Sweetheart, I know. Can I just say it was the wooden wet one? Yeah, that one. Thank you. Can I just say that? Like, why do I have to wait?
What was used to kill Hifumi?
I know.
Was it Justice Hammer 3?
Maybe you have some idea. What?
What was used to... Was it Justice? Maybe Justice...
well, what if there's one thing? How was the culprit able to move around? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
I lost a heart. Shit. I failed. Do I have to restart the whole thing? Nobody believes me. No one wants to. Meeting adjourned. I got guilty. Yeah, I failed. It would appear the month. I don't understand.
Is...
Yeah, I'm gonna give
I
it another
refuse to give up
try.
yet!
Just give it. Just give it. Make your argument. Yeah, okay.
What was used? Was it just... Maybe Justice...
Well, there's one. How was the culprit? How did nobody... Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance!
No. I felt that. I don't know. I just saw Justice Hammer. I don't know.
What was used? Was it just... Maybe Justice...
Well, there's one. How was the culprit? How did nobody... Sounds like a Justice Hammer! Check out murdergear.com!
Well, one thing seems pretty... The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice...
No, it was not.
No,
There we
it's
go.
wrong.
It was a hammer break, but not the Justice Hammer.
The murder weapon wasn't a justice hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
We're gonna pretend I'm not failing these freaking trials so easily. It's like, we know that I know what it is. It's just that the mini games are a little difficult for me, and I'm sorry.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Because it was covered in Hifumi's blood.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder.
Murder.
If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones.
Long ones, short ones. Really, you should not have questioned how he managed to die from a hammer fracture to the skull when the hammers weren't in the room, when there are still hammers in the room. And those are less hammers, those are more mallets, by the way.
And even some flat mallet-like ones.
Wow, I just said that.
I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
Possibly even took some to actually paint them. Because there's a few missing
If
and they
that's
couldn't come out of
true,
nowhere.
that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
And whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him. Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him.
Okay, so he killed the Mim Celeste.
The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder.
Okay, but he followed you like a goddess.
So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
I mean, it would be the first case, but like to sit here now and to get this far and say that it's stupid that anyone would work together because of the rule, when we have evidence that would suggest that they were working together, does nothing for the case. And like, I don't know, we did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together, at least that's what we thought at first, but... What? What's my argument? Spotless hammer. Okay, so I'm gonna have to, like, scan something, I assume.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive.
But what if two people
Assuming
do it?
the rule holds true, it is simply impossible
No,
that
my
two
finger
people
slipped.
work.
This is why I'm doing it. No, I literally just see the yellow and I'm like,
Based
ooh,
on the
triangle.
rules that have been, even if more than one, only the one who actually carried out the,
I was so
assuming the
impatient to
rule
see
holds
one that I
true,
saw the first one was
it
like,
is
yes,
simply
that's it.
impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But
that only
Monokuma
really
likes to
applies if
omit the
there's
truth
one
without
murder,
lying.
right? In
Right.
this case, however, there were
No,
two
stop it,
murders.
stop it, scan, fuck off. Yes, so we're at the
Based
same,
on the
same
rules,
as the
even
last
if
one.
more than one, only the one who actually, assuming the rule holds true.
That is how the
But that only really applies if there's, in this case, however,
No.
there were two
I wanted
murders.
this button. Fuck off. I got this, I got that.
Based on the
Figure out
rules
what
that
to
have
say
been, even if more than one, only the one who actually carried, assuming the rule holds true. It is simply...
Yeah, I got it. I was going to say it's impossible, but then what she was saying is what is possible. It's just that the only the word impossible break was there. So we're going to
Since
let
there
him
were
explain.
two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
Are you also? I'm assuming you're saying that if more than one murder is committed with multiple people being murderers and both those people are blackened, Monokuma made it very clear that only one person can be blackened. So I really want to know the details on this.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka.
Which would have made Celeste his accomplice, which made it there's a possibility that he would have been the murderer and not her, so she had to kill him so that she was the only
They
murderer.
made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders.
That was my assumption from the beginning.
Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents.
Well, not the beginning, but ever since like things started getting confusing.
And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
I can see him falling for it, especially if it was Celeste, who he was like treating like a goddess.
That's just awful. How could anyone be so cruel?
I see Celeste being that cruel. All she cared about was her comfortability of life.
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
That's why she tested him to tell him to make the tea to see if he would do what she says. The effort made to convince us the two murders were the same. That was the main characteristic of this crime. Kyoko must have noticed that fact from the very beginning. Which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents. Kyoko really is amazing, though. When you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Like, it's almost unnatural how good she is
I
at this.
understand how an accomplice could be involved. But then, who was the one pulling Hifumi's string?
That's problem numero uno right now.
The one who's been so involved when usually she doesn't even care to investigate. The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions and in the end murdered him. In the debates up until now, the way the case has unfolded, when you consider all that, there's really only one person who seems to fit. I know who. Nope. Yep.
Here's my answer.
Yeah, I got it right.
It was Celeste.
It was Celeste.
So I'm the suspicious individual now, am I?
You have been extremely suspicious this entire time.
I really do hate this kind of joke.
You're the one that said you saw someone up the stairs, and then even though he went up the stairs, well, you said you saw him going up the stairs, even though you had said you blocked the stairs so he couldn't get up them. And it doesn't make sense.
Joke?
A joke.
I wonder.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi.
Which is why you had him make
The
you tea.
idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him.
But you
that I would
have.
go within 10 feet of that shit from brains, that lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot! Pardonnez-moi.
Is that you getting mad because he, like, got you caught because he cleaned his glasses and hid the note in his pants?
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
What is the only Hifumi and Celeste had in common? The screaming, encountering
I got it!
the suspicious individual.
The behavior they had in
They both
common
did
has
scream,
to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo-Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush, the adults are talking now.
The disrespect. I'm gonna kick you in your glasses face, steal your little tie thing.
Sorry.
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Her face is like
Are
shit.
you saying everything they told us was a lie?
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
I saw a shadow, something moving around the top of the stairs, which got us away from the nurse's office so that he could move Taka's body.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
Celeste, what's wrong? It was rather intense. Okay, this one again. I saw him in a strange costume man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down the hallway and disappeared. But he was
Once
never
she'd
there.
done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
Huh? What was that? It was Hifumi screaming. It came from downstairs. Hifumi is in the nurse's office with badge. So he screamed
It
and
was
then...
to get us to divide into two groups. So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
She was, wasn't she? Then why don't we split into two groups? I'll lead the hunting party. It seems much more interesting. Very well, then Makoto and Hina, you come with me to the nurse's office. I will leave the capture of the suspicious individual to Toko, Byakuya, and Sakura.
Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected.
And she would have gone to the nurse's office so that she could have distracted Aoi so that Hifumi could disappear. Oh, you
And on
quiet.
top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on.
Just from seeing him, that's so unlike you. Oh, that was so fake. I didn't notice the first time.
That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the third floor. Everything's going according to plan.
Okay.
Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
Okay, that sounded actually really fake. Sounded more like she was, in bed and trying to get things finished already.
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead,
I
certainly was not expecting this. I did not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered.
Okay, to be fair though, if I saw him in the same circumstances... Oh no, I would have found Taka second. Well then, if I would have found him covered in blood with a hammer, I would have
You
assumed
wanted
the
to
same
make
thing.
sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
Fair enough though.
I don't believe it. Everything. The whole thing was one big act.
Apparently.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kind of sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom.
And you were in the nurse's office. Did she give you anything to drink?
Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed.
Celeste knows she's screwed.
Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it.
She's putting on a poker
You
face.
made one fatal...
Oh, did
Fake,
I?
sorry.
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
Was it her saying murdered or...
What are you talking about?
No, not that.
I'm
What?
talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around frightened and confused. We're all going to die here. We're going to die just like those guys did. Die.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
By those guys, was she talking about Taka and Hifumi?
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were
Yeah.
first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room.
In her defense, she could have been talking about the multiple other people who have died here.
Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Not completely. Okay, she could have been talking about Sayaka, Leon, Mondo, Chihiro. Has anyone else died? I don't know. It feels like more died than that. Junko. Was that it? 5? I feel like there's a lot less than 10. Who am I missing? Was that it?
Because first it was Sayaka, and then it was Junko, and then it was Leon, and then it was Chihiro, and then it was Mondo. So yeah. Well, I guess now we have Taka and Hifumi too. So that's less. Okay.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Byakuya said that Celeste's comment doesn't make sense, but what the hell is he alluding to? Make your argument. On Akuma file number 3. Am I gonna have to scan?
All I said was... They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around,
No, no, no,
frightened
no.
and confused. They must
Gonna
be
be like those guys.
positively late. We are all going to die here. We are going to die. Just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes.
What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
No? I'm expecting to do the work for you. What?
All I said, they must really be enjoying the sight of us standing around. They must be positive. We are all going to die here. We are going to die. Just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes.
What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
I don't understand.
Shoot!
All
All
going
I
to die.
said, they must really be enjoying the sight of us standing around. They must be positively. We are all going to die here. We are going to die. Just like those guys died.
I don't understand. If it's not those guys, what is it?
Shoot! All I said, they must really be enjoying the sight of us. They must be. We are all going to die. We are going to die. Just like those guys died.
Maybe if I say
And that
strange
is all
and then
I
say
said.
that guy,
And
those
that's
guys.
all it takes to think.
What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
When she said that, she should only have known about Fumi's death. With that in mind, what's so strange about what she said is, those
All
guys.
you said, they must really enjoy
That's what I said,
the
but maybe
sight
I
of
have to
us.
hit
They
those
must be
guys with
positively
those
we
rings
are
instead
all
of
going to
those
die here.
rings with
We are
those
going
guys.
to die. Just like
There we go.
No, what's wrong?
But why wouldn't I just... This is
That's
stupid,
right.
but whatever.
There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died.
There were multiple other deaths.
When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
This isn't really much for argument. Whatever.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys? Disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
you all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations.
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw.
Okay, but the one that they're arguing about right now is a lot easier to forget.
Then what about the picture I took? How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
Maybe Hifumi was dragging Hito unconscious in the suit? That's a weird angle to be carrying a person. But it's also, both angles are weird, because if he's Robo-Justice carrying him by his neck, he's just gonna friggin' fall on his ass and his back. But Hifumi could be carrying him on his back, possibly? Because, I mean, otherwise, why wouldn't Hifumi just move the hands, right? Because he's, like, hugging them more than he is fighting them.
It has to be some kind of setup, right? So let's put the suit on. And then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit.
So yeah, he was in the suit. And she and even then, if it wasn't him carrying it, for God's sakes, you could have just posed with an unconscious Hito.
Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away.
Or because he was an accomplice, he was
If
posing.
everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Because Hifumi was in on it and Hito was unconscious.
Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
Other explanations? If it wasn't a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away, he was posing. The only other possibility is... Okay, yeah, Hifumi's okay. So I was right the first time.
It's not a
But
picture
it's
of
a
the
weird
suspect
pose, though.
dragging
It's not a-
Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
Can you stop saying suspect? We know it's you. Oh, we got it. That was
That's
it.
certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around.
For all I know, though. I don't know. He could have also said that he was posing with it.
And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther.
I'm pretty sure that was, like, the main thing, too. Like, if she has a picture, we know it's not her because there's proof that it was someone that's not her.
If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Such a thing is utterly impossible.
Am I gonna have to, like, go there and fight with you again?
Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
With what? Celeste thinks she can prove that there's no way Hifumi was dragging the suspect away. Or is that really possible? We're gonna find out. Make your argument. Robo Justice costume, yes, Hito's message, Robo Justice blueprint.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous.
Why?
As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious,
No?
Shoot!
What? Shit, I only have 1 life left.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out. Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight. You tried to make me look like the bad guy.
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
No, it's wrong.
I have to wait for the conversation to go a little further. I like to jump the gun. Right!
No. Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that. Because that Robo-Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
A dumb characteristic if you were doing it for this. If it was made for this situation. You totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
So that you could pose for the picture.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it.
Would have been a lot smarter to hide the suit than have Hifumi just on his own then. So that no one found the suit and knew about the
That's how they were able to fake that whole thing.
This is dumb.
The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Well then,
like that noise.
I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate?
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate?
Ooh, I haven't seen this face yet.
Celeste?
Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem.
Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
Brought that up a bit late. Hey, Hifumi, who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you? Who killed me? That's right. I can't tell. Okay, I remember their name. Yasuhiro.
When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro.
Okay, that's what's confused me. That's the one thing that I have no answer for. Because either you made him think that Yasuhiro killed him, which doesn't make sense, or he was super loyal to you, and even after you killed him, which would have been a trick, we've established, he still decided to try to make you look
In
at
other words, Yasuhiro Kagakure!
Wait, but my name isn't really Yasuhiro. It's actually Taro.
But Hifumi would
Your
know that.
confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
Is there a different
What the
Yasuhiro?
hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
I got it! That's right! Our last names! He called us all by our last names!
That's right, because I hated how he said Naegi, which means that, especially if his name is not Yasuhiro, but we're going to assume he didn't know about the Taro thing, then he should have called him Hagakure and not Yasuhiro. But his brain was pretty scrambled, too.
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example.
Just saying, because like he was also talking about how he met us before he met us, and Byaku was all like his time is like blending all together. So I don't know.
So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
Hagakure. Yes. But also, who here has the last name Yasuhiro? Because I've read all your names and it's not Yasuhiro.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name.
I say that, and then it shows Celeste, who doesn't have her last name. Is Celeste's last name Yasuhiro? Because I thought it was von Ludenberg.
Indecent?
Don't talk.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No. There's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal.
Other than the fact that his brain was mashed up by a hammer.
But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well, no. Hold on. there's one person it could apply to.
I'm gonna say Celeste because she never shows her
And
last
that's
name.
Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
I mean, she did. She said, my name is Celeste von Ludenberg.
What did you just say? To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit! Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you?
Hagakude over there like, oh, but also, if it is a loser's name, then you would have changed to von Ludenberg.
Well, do I? What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg.
Oh, I thought
Could you
on there.
please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
Celeste still won't give up. I have to do something to make her accept it. Like what? Oh, her student ID card. Her handbook would say. Her handbook would tell us. Yeah, we need her handbook. Her handbook would
Hifumi
tell us
was
her real
trying
name.
to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name. Yasuhiro.
I am not doing well.
Shoot!
No! But I had... Oh. I failed. Yeah. Who believes me? I've come to a bait. Boo-hoo-hoo. Makoto has been found guilty, even though he is not the blackened.
I refuse to give up
I'm not
yet!
going to get a lot of coins for this one. This is my second failure. This square is not as difficult as it looks. I just don't know what point they want me to make my argument at. Because I could just literally say, put out your e-handbook at any point.
Hifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name. Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
Why are they saying
how many
Ludenberg's not
times
her
do I
real
have
name?
to tell you? My name
Oh, it's going to be when it says her name. We're going to be like, show us on the handbook then.
Celestia Ludenberg, god damn it!
Okay.
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict me, that's the only truth there is! Moron!
No, I saw it.
Hifumi
No,
was
go back.
trying to tell us. He wanted us to know the killer's last name.
No.
Yeah, if there's one person here...
It would have to be you, Celeste.
How many times did I? Celestia Ludenberg!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. And since you have no way to contradict me...
Thank you.
No, that's wrong!
Break.
That's it! The handbook!
What?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before.
This handbook is absolutely vital for a healthy school life, so don't lose it. When you start it up, it will display your name. Always make sure you have the right one. Now, this is not your everyday notebook. It has so many more uses than that.
So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Then you admit guilt.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up.
So I'm gonna have to do that argument thing. Just realized I'm gonna have to do that whole comic book thing. I'm not looking forward to it.
Because until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then. Let me settle it. Let me go over the case again, from the beginning, and shed light on all your crimes.
Should have known they were talking about it because it was gonna happen. I just figured, hey,
And
I thought
that'll
of it.
bring everything to an end.
Time to put some comics together. Alright, so Celeste was sitting in Hifumi's room, and he was, no, because that's that. Okay. Wait. What? Did they leave the note? Wait, how do I start this? No? Is it this time, maybe? What time it is. It looks like they're holding something, though. And then, Act 2. That's when he's pushing Taka. I don't... No. That was at 1 in the morning. So that would have been them planning it out, right? Maybe? And then they call it Yasuhito in. None of this stuff seems relevant. Taka's watch. Oh, I see. No, they would have killed. But then why is it... Right, they would have kidnapped. Okay, wait. So at 1 in the morning. Because this told him to meet them at 1 a.m. So that would have been this one. And then Yasuhito would have walked in. But what would happen before they knock him out? Would it have been this one? Like, okay, they're like, he's like, what are you doing? And that doesn't make sense. Take Justice Hammer. No, because he didn't kill Yasuhito, he drugged him. So... What? What? What's with the backpack? How is that relevant? Is that Hifumi's backpack? Okay. So what did he... What is happening in the picture with the backpack? He's wearing it. And there's something like boxy there on his shoulder. Is that him? Okay, let's try to get the other stuff figured out first. Okay, so at this point, would have taken the photo, right? And then this part would have been his watch. And then Justice Hammer number 4, he would have hit him with. Right? So would Justice Hammer 4 have been bloody at that point? Or... I like that it still shows Kyondo. I can't believe Hifumi murdered someone. And then in the nurse's office. Put him in there. Maybe then. No, I'm not positive about that one. So they literally just splashed a bunch of blood around the room. So if this was here, it would be this one. He was faking it. And we all found him. And then we all found Yaki. At this point, he would have been pushing. Not Yaki, Taka. And then... we would have hit Hifumi with it. I'm very confused. Came up behind him, hit him with the hammer, and then I'm confused because a lot of this is not like this was in Leon's. And I don't see how this makes sense. We all found his body, wrapped him up, pushed him, put him there, and went there. So what would have happened after that? Even if it was the one of these ones, it doesn't make sense. He's already dead, so it's not him there. Oh, this one, because this is just the angle was weird. Okay, so we got that. Now let's use what we have left and try to figure out the rest. There. Got himself with blood, and then he put the Justice Hammer. What, 3? It would have been? No, they didn't find 3. Just too small. So... What? Wait. So we've showed... So we say the Justice Hammer 4, so it's definitely that one. And that's when I took the picture, because that's why it's showing it. And after hitting Yasuhito, maybe this this one. I got confused. What is it? What would have been there? No, he wasn't in. Yeah, he was in. Wait. That was at 1. No, this one would have been at 1. And this one would have been possibly space. Can I just click it and have it come back? No, of course not. Take this, but then... Oh, right, there was no blood. So Justice Hammer 2 would have been what hit him in the head then. And then going back over here would have been this one. And then I think that might be everything, so let's go over it. Okay. So Celeste talking to him, he's all like loyal, and she says something and they agree and they're all smiley. And then at 1 a.m., because that's when they told Hiro, he got confused and then knocked out. And then they put him in the suit and took a picture. And then at 6 a.m., right? 1, 2, shit. 5, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, this would have been 6. But then they were late, maybe? Is there another clock that shows 6? No, that's his watch, so it would have been that one. Okay. Maybe I'm just looking at it wrong. It's the angle. Yeah, that's the top. So, okay. Never mind. I don't know. But there's that, and then he hit him, and they got bloody. And then we were shown a picture, and then he was in there, and we found him with the Justice Hammer 2, because we never found Justice Hammer 3. And I'm assuming it's not that one. Maybe, what, this one? I don't know. I feel like that one might be wrong. Maybe it's this one. And then his backpack over here.
Here's exactly what happened.
God, I hope I got this right.
Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was...
Got it.
Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes.
Okay, got that right.
First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning. That someone they met with was Hiro.
Oh, doing well so
The
far.
murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. So when they met up with him, they drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit. Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker. And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room. And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder. The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room.
Oh, Monkey Ball Boy's got some balls.
The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes.
Okay, this one might be confused.
So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents.
I'll be surprised if this
For
one's
these
correct.
attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims to solidify Robo-Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1 and the Robo-Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2 and an injured Hifumi to sell us that story. With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds.
Okay.
That the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did.
Okay, just show me if I got right about
We
the
fell
backpack.
right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. But
I feel like it's wrong. No. Alright. Oh, I lost a heart. Alright, I just gotta figure out what that one is. Oh, would that not be... There was never a Justice Hammer 3. I don't understand. Maybe... No, because that would have been... No. Right? Hammer 2, he was attacked with that. And then... What, was Justice Hammer 3 then? I don't think so, because I don't remember finding Justice Hammer 3. I'm very confuzzled. I know that that's all it, but neither of these makes sense. This wasn't relevant, and I really don't think the chips are relevant. But I guess it would have been hit there, and it wouldn't have been bloody. And then 3 would have been...
The killer is you! So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers put the first fake... This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2 and an injured Hifumi to sell us that story.
Okay.
With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. But...
Thank you.
While we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3
Okay, I thought we didn't find 3, but I must be stupid.
and turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape.
I'm pretty sure this from this point on.
When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office, and once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room. He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is...
Celeste. What's with the roses? Okay, we're merging. And it comes out as Celeste. Very angry.
Celeste! Sorry, you lose.
Complete.
I lost? I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words?
That's the bad part about being the best gambler who's never lost. When you do lose, it usually sucks ass.
They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no, Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Even your first name was a lie.
Taiko?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Even her accent was fake?
Interesting.
Oh, this is gonna be bad. Yeah. Yeah. Could have been better, could have been worse. 81 is not what I wanted.
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin. Or, no, I suppose this is the end. Isn't
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote. Okay? Okay. If you would, please locate your lever and cast your vote.
Okay.
And when the votes are tallied, who will become the blackened?
I think we know.
Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Monokuma, vote. Now we get to see another execution. As the ultimate gambler, I wonder what hers going to be. Kind of ironic that now she gets this for hers as a gambler. Like, for everyone else, it was just kind of whatever. But for Celeste, it's like an extra kick in the face. It's basically a formality at this point, but once again, you're totally correct. The blackened this time, the true killer who devised the whole stinking scheme was Celestia Ludenberg, or more precisely, Taiko Yasuhiro.
honestly.
I lost. Well, that sucks. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Ifumi's ineptitude was beyond all my calculations.
I knew it.
So you really did approach Ifumi with this plan. But how did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would have happily agreed to commit murder. I'm sure she relied on her specialty, lying. My specialty? Don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to him to get to him to agree.
So then,
And did you use, you know... I knew you'd figure it out, Kyoko. You're absolutely right. To get Ifumi to act as my accomplice, I used her. You're the one that stole Alter Ego. And maybe we shouldn't talk about it right now, because, like, I think Monokuma's still in the room, so let's just move on. For everyone who's still left, I avoid mentioning it by name. Someone with a fucking brain. It was the one thing Ifumi and Taka were both super into. Does she mean... Is she talking about Alter Ego?
Say what?
What? What are you talking about?
just a second.
Don't interrupt. We're in the middle of a very important conversation here. Totally out of the loop as usual. How sad.
In other words,
And you're the one who stole it?
Indeed.
That's right.
I see.
And you used it to drag Ifumi into the plan you'd come up with. Right again. Last night after we had our meeting about how it disappeared, I paid Ifumi a little visit. What are you doing here?
Actually,
I was hoping I could talk to you alone. So that's what his room looks like. That's cool. We didn't get to see Ifumi's room. He's got a ton of... Where does he get them, though? Because, like, they took all of our stuff. Like, Makoto's room is boring if this, like... Yeah, so Hito's room's got shit. Ifumi's room's got shit. It is about what I was stolen. I know who did it.
what? Are you okay with
It was
this?
Taka. He stole it. And that's how he got him to kill Taka, because he already hated him. I should have figured that out, that he killed Taka. I'm dumb.
So
And
then...
I have proof. Would you like to see it? As it turned out, I'd found a use for the digital camera. I'd taken you-know-what to Taka's room earlier and took pictures of it there. I deleted the pictures as soon as I'd shown it to Hifumi, of course.
Damnation!
So it was him. But how did he do it? She was supposed to yell if either of us got too close to her.
You are correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
Say what?
As for me...
Please forgive me. He threatened me.
He did?
As for me...
He came to my room last night unannounced, and then it's hard for me to even say. He abused me.
What?
And he took pictures. He said if I did not do as he asked, he would show them to everyone. So I had no choice.
Damnation!
That's a crime. An absolute crime. I know he'd gone a little crazy, but
Say what?
I'd never imagined he would go that far. It was amazing how completely he'd bought it. I can't express how enjoyable that was.
I'm about to say something I've never said before in my life. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to fucking kill him.
Most
Wait,
unfortunate.
please, if you go now, you will be playing right into his hands. Huh?
Actually,
Taka is planning to use her to escape. And he has made you his target. There are cameras in here too. How does Monokuma not know about Alter Ego at this point?
What?
Escape? You don't mean. Taka's going to try to kill you.
indeed.
And then also he can keep her to himself. That bastard!
Unforgivable!
Bastard!
Honestly.
Can we allow him to continue with these barbaric acts? Absolutely not. How could I? She...
I swear I will save her!
I think he spoke for himself there.
Actually,
Then would you like to join with me? It just so happens I have come up with a plan. I have devised a way to reclaim what he has stolen and escape this dreadful school. And with that, it is complete. Huh? What are you talking about? Oh, nothing. Hifumi agreed without a second thought. The effect that item had on him was remarkable. The power of love, even love as twisted as that, can still drive people mad, it would seem. You disgust me.
I see.
I have another question for you. Was that strange costume Hifumi's creation?
Indeed.
Yeah, it was a real pain in the butt, too. All I asked him to do was make something to hide the face and general body size. I had no idea he'd make something like that, but it's my fault for picking him in the first place.
But...
So why'd you decide to make me the suspect? Because you're stupid. That's it.
Let's see.
And in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed even my expectation. Life must have been very tough on your parents, though. I feel like I could cry.
Well,
But when you were explaining your plan to Hifumi, how did you not explain the part about him playing dead?
What she's saying is, was Hifumi supposed to do after that, assuming you had actually let him live?
Are you okay with this?
That's simple. After he did his part and pretended to be dead once someone showed up, I told him to say he'd been seriously wounded. He was on the verge of death, but he just barely held on. And he really believed that? Well, of course. That wasn't all there was to it. As I explained to Hifumi, the plan was, while you were all questioning him about what had happened to him, I was going to murder someone else. At that point, Hifumi would have an alibi, so nobody could doubt him. I told him that, and he believed it. It all seems very straightforward, stereotypical. I just matched the lie to the level of the opponent. In fact, Hifumi ate it up. He believed the lies wholeheartedly, right up until the moment of his death.
so in the end,
So you had planned to kill him all along.
But of course, there would have been no point in my plan if one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself.
What the heck?
How can a human life mean so little to you?
Well,
That's a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
Don't be mean!
Now you sound like Byakuya.
I wonder about
No,
that.
he deserves his pleasure from the thrill of it, the hunt. He derives his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In that aspect, we are nothing alike.
Why?
And what made you take things so far?
What the heck?
Was it really just for money? Are you talking about the $10 million Monokuma offered us? That is a lot of money, it's true. But that's not all there is to it. From the moment our new life here began, my only thought was to have an escape.
But...
All along you've been saying how we have to accept living here.
You little
Obviously that was a
bitch.
lie.
Hey!
I couldn't take it. I hated it from day one. More than anyone else in here.
You little bitch!
I wanted to get out. Every day was fresh torture. And you want to know why? Huh?
This is fine.
I had a dream. And accepting the life here would have meant nothing less than giving up on my dream forever.
Honestly.
And there is no way that I could ever do that. In the underground world of gambling, I risked my life to make a metaphorical killing.
As for me,
It was all for that dream. And what was that dream of yours?
isn't it wonderful?
To live in a European castle. A castle? And to gather handsome men from all over the world to serve as my butlers/bodyguards. Why are their eyes red? You're gorgeous in that picture, though. Is the one kissing you if it's supposed to be Byakuya? He doesn't have glasses, but it could still be him. Although the one behind him looks like him, too. I was going to make them dress up like vampires and satisfy my every need. Well, that explains the red eyes. Once I obtained that, I would have created a perfectly aesthetic world of decadence.
This is fine.
Living the rest of my life there was my only dream, my only goal. That's what life is all about. Combined with my own winnings, Monokuma's $10 million would have made that dream a reality. I got right to the edge, but
There is nothing to be done.
unfortunately my dream has been scattered to the wind. Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream till the very end, so why would I?
Just the worst.
You sound so passionate, but you were really able to kill your own friends for it?
Oh,
Are you asking me to feel guilty? That's a pointless endeavor. I think nothing of sacrificing others for my own ends. I feel nothing.
do you understand?
That's all there is to me. That's what makes me complete. Isn't it terrifying how different our values are? How there's simply no room for understanding.
What is this?
That's what we should be saying. And plus, how can you be so calm? Don't you realize you're about to die? Why aren't you scared? My ability to lie is unrivaled, and I take pride in that. It's not like just other people. I can even fool my own emotions. The conscious deceives the unconscious. And that's why you're not scared?
Yes, indeed.
That's right. I don't fear death. Kill me however you like. But you know, if I could be reincarnated, if I had a choice, then
Isn't it wonderful?
I think I would like to come back as Marie Antoinette.
Hey!
You just get executed again. Celeste smiled then, and when she did, she looked to me like a poor effort to force it. She claimed she could fool her own feelings, but that statement itself must have been her final lie. And that weak, fake smile was what betrayed her.
Thrills, chills, kills!
You all done? Okay, let's get rolling. The black and disturbed the peace and must pay the price.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
For her, the ultimate gambler.
Let's give it
everything we got.
It's punishment time!
I guess I'll let
Kyoko hold on to this. What? This is...
Will it really
Does
give
it really
you the
give you
hope
hope that
you're
what you're looking for? Can't I ever...
can't say
can't
I
say I
ever
ever saw it that way.
Which is why...
Actually,
Actually,
it's not important.
Well then,
Well, then, take care, everyone.
perhaps we'll meet
Perhaps
again.
we'll meet again in another life. 3D Monokuma, here to make me uncomfortable. Game over. Celeste has been found guilty. Time for the punishment. Hi. Oh, are you praying? Oh. What's going on? It's your castle. It's your European castle. You got it. You're good. Oh, that bunny is terrifying. Oh, and all the Monokumas. The burning of the Versailles witch. Okay, she's getting burned at the stake, like a real witch. Although she said she wanted them to dress like vampires, not witches. Oh, that's very pretty. I like the, art style. And your feet are on fire. Oh, yeah, the fire is getting worse. This is pretty tame, though. Most of the other ones have, like, that do-do-do-do-do-do. This is pretty cool. She doesn't look too upset about it either. She feels like, well, she said she wanted to be Marie Antoinette, so she felt like, ah, yes, the death I deserve. But burning to death is not what I would want. What? I didn't read that. There's a fire truck. Are they gonna... What? Okay. Oh. Well, there goes her shining moments of Victorian aesthetic. A high school fire truck just comes in and hits her. Not even any blood on it. Well, bye, Celeste/Tycho. You get very sweaty during these, don't you, Monokuma? Well, that sucked. It's over. To the third execution. Oh, the third execution is over. Celeste's death is over. Celeste killed my friend, so I can't pity her, but I also can't deny that at one point I considered her a friend too. And for him to just come along and... Isn't it just awful? Someone couldn't cut free of their regrets from the outside world, and so more people had to die.
Extreme!
You guys are still young. You need to place more value on your lives.
What are you gonna do?
Jeez, and here I thought you guys were gonna pass the torch of hope to the next generation.
Let me out of here!
What do I care about hope? I'll just throw in the trash if you just let me out of here.
Too bad.
You're all the embodiment of hope, whether you like it or not. And it's my destiny to knock you down one by one. It's sad, yes it is, but the reality just can't be avoided. Don't talk like you're not responsible. How long are you gonna keep us going through this? What do you want from us? Oh, I don't know why I read that in his voice. How long are you gonna make us keep going through this? What do you want from us? God, I'm so sick of people asking me that. Give it a rest already. So anyway, Kyoko, did I see you get some kind of key-type object from Celeste?
Hey!
So, what's the deal with that?
What?
Huh? What's the matter?
So then,
I'll answer your question if you answer mine.
you...
What did you do? What did you do to me?
Ooh.
What?
Hey,
Answer me. What did you do to my body?
Ooh.
Oh man, oh jeez, oh man, oh jeez, what do you mean? Well, what did I do? I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. What was that just now? The mastermind did something to Kyoko's body? What does that mean?
Hello.
Okay, things are getting kind of awkward. I think it's about time I got out of here.
Well,
Meanwhile, you guys can go on enjoying your school life. If you get lonely, give me a shout. Not that I'll do anything about it, of course.
see ya later.
Monokuma disappeared, leaving us all depressed and in despair. Although, it wasn't all despair. There was one small hope. Hey, Kyoko, Monokuma already mentioned it, but what's the key that's... Oh, what's the key that Celeste gave you?
so...
Most likely, it's the key to one of the dressing room lockers.
Huh?
What? Then that means... Celeste probably hid it in there.
Hey,
I suppose sometimes it's easiest to miss what's right beneath your nose. Well then, we better go back.
Indeed.
Good idea. We left the courtroom and rushed to the dressing room. As we approached the dressing room, Kyoko looked back at us and
Hey.
said, I'm going to go on alone from here. Everyone else head to the dining hall. I'll check with you later. Why exactly are you going alone?
So...
Do you even have to ask? As she spoke, she glanced quickly at the surveillance camera.
Come on.
That's not what I mean. Why you? There's still a risk of a spy, you know. Then I'll go too.
What?
You? Please let me go.
Standing there arguing is just going to draw more attention to
Goodbye.
us. Do whatever you want. Thank you, Byakuya.
Well then.
Then it's up to you now.
Yo!
I'm gonna go to the dining hall, okay? Huh? So Makoto and Kyoko are gonna go together? Does that mean what I think it means?
Okay.
Good luck, Makoto. Girls like her are total pushovers when you show a little backbone. I try to forget what Hina said. Everyone headed to the dining hall, leaving me and Kyoko there alone.
Shall we go?
Well, shall we? Yeah,
So then,
we need to get in that locker. Kyoko took the key Celeste had given her and unlocked the locker. And as the locker swung open, we saw...
You really came.
Good morning. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's safe, thank goodness. I'd never heard Kyoko sound so relieved. It was like she was speaking from the bottom of her heart. I did just what Celeste asked. I didn't say a word. I stayed quiet the entire time.
So,
Oh, and I think I might be able to open the last set of files soon. Maybe as early as tomorrow. I'm doing my best, so please wait a little longer. So, now we can officially say the case is closed. As far as this incident is concerned, sure, but can we take a second? Since we have this opportunity, I want to be honest with you to be honest with me. Kyoko, please tell me, what are you trying to do all on your own here at the school?
you.
Is that why you wanted to come here with me?
However,
Regardless, it's not something you need to know about right now. I don't need to know. That just makes me even more worried.
what?
Worried. Like what happened during the investigation this time. You disappeared and we didn't see you again. Without warning, without explanation. When you do
Indeed.
that, it's only natural they think I'm the mastermind spy, right? And me too. No! I believe in you.
What?
You believe in me? Isn't it obvious? People believe in their friends, right? So that's why I want you to tell me. And I want you to believe in me too. Because we're friends. I understand.
It's true.
Then maybe I can believe in you. Just a little bit more. Then...
That's fine.
Fine, I'll tell you. I'll tell you why I've been disappearing and where I've been going. You see, what I heard from Kyoko then was, well, frankly, it kind of blew my mind. Right after I told Kyoko I believed in her, she told me a story that was, well, almost unbelievable. I decided I had to confirm what she told me with my own two eyes, so I waited for nighttime to come. And when it did, I went into action. What am I doing?
Correct.
The boys' bathroom on the second floor doesn't have a surveillance camera or monitor in it, and the storage closet there, way in the back. She said it was way in the back of the boys' bathroom storage closet, but could Kyoko really be right about this? Let me. It's just a normal storage closet as far as I can tell. The secret Kyoko told me about, could it really be hidden here? Well, it's all I can look at, so... She said it was way in the back of the storage closet, but I mean, seriously? Without thinking, I placed my hand on the back of the storage closet, and suddenly, as if I was being yanked at... Gashunk! At the same time as I heard that sound, I fell through the wall. I had no idea what was going on. Oh! It was like Kyoko's private office. I'd fallen through the back of the storage closet. Huh? It turned out, the back wall was a revolving door, then made my way through the other side. Just like Kyoko had said.
Correct.
In the boys' bathroom on the second floor, there's a storage closet, and way in the back of that closet, there's a secret room. So this is a secret room. But what's in here? Two things. Wait. Two things. Wait. Okay, two things. It's just a normal desk with normal drawers. But the interesting things are in the books. There's a bunch of files in what looks like a volume after volume of yearbooks. They're all covered in dust. Looking at everything, one file at the edge of the bookshelf caught my eye. Hope's Peak Academy Student Registry? This is the only thing in here not covered in dust. Has someone been looking at it recently? I wonder who. Probably the only other person who knows the room, like Kyoko. I slipped the file into my hand, but before I had a chance to look at it, a slip of paper fell out of the file and I turned my attention to it. You must not leave. What's this? You must not leave. It's kind of weird. I could understand if it said something like, I can't leave, but you must not leave? What is this? My head feels funny. This strange sensation, it's like deja vu. Those words, you must not leave. I've seen them somewhere before, but I can't quite remember. What do I know? What don't I know? No! A strange sound rang out through my head. It felt as if shaking my brain back and forth. And then, darkness. I don't understand what's happening. I don't know what started it. It's all over, and with that I opened my eyes. I didn't know how long it'd been. Everything's gone. Oh. Apparently something hit me and I lost consciousness. That's all I understood. The dull throbbing pain in my head proved that much at least. An empty bookshelf. Huh? Empty. Gone. It's all gone. The yearbooks, the student registry, and
Even the note that had fallen on the floor, it's all gone? What does this mean? But my brain refused to do any more work. The insistent pain in my head began to spread across the rest of my body. For now, I should go back to my room, get some rest. My body was heavy with pain, my mind heavy with thought. I dragged myself back towards my room. Somehow I made it back to the first floor of the school. The further I walked, the more I felt things are getting blurry. Can't see in front of me. I couldn't stop myself from collapsing right there. And after that... Huh? As if from a vast distance, I heard a sound. It was faint, but undeniable. It sounds like thumping. That sound. It's coming from the gym. As I desperately hauled my shaky frame towards the gym, the sound got stronger and stronger. What's going on? It can't be nothing. Here in the gym? I didn't make a sound as I opened the door to the gym. The sounds coming from inside meanwhile only intensified that much more. Ka-cha! Baki! Ha-ga-ga! Hiya! Ba-ching! Ba-ya! Da-da-dun! Oh! Shit! Oh, panty shot. Before there raged a battle beyond anything humanly possible. But that's violence against the headmaster. No, one side's not human, that's for sure. Regardless, I couldn't stop staring. Forgot to move or even breathe.
Why, you? What do you think you're doing?
That's violence against the headmaster.
I asked you a question. What's the meaning of this? How dare you defy me? This wasn't part of the deal!
Wait, the deal? Was Sakura the one that was supposed to kill someone in the beginning? The deal?
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat. No longer compromise. No longer regret.
No compromise, even in the face of the apocalypse.
I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
So does that mean she was a spy?
Okay, but you do realize what will happen if you go through with this, right? You haven't forgotten, have you? What I'm holding hostage?
What am I looking at? What am I hearing? A hostage? Then could it be the mastermind spy is definitely Sakura. Chapter 3, A Next Generation Legend. Stand tall, galactic hero. The end. Only 7 students left. Oh, so much to be continued. By the time we find out who the mastermind is, there's going to be no one left. I got a super rotor just as present.